Inside Stone's Gambling Hall in Sacramento, California, you'll find Sammy's Restaurant and Bar. Recognized for its innovative, healthy global cuisine, Sammy's offers menu selections made with local, organic ingredients. Indulgent options like truffle fries, duck tacos, artisan wood-fired pizzas, fresh salads, and more, along with an eclectic selection of craft beers and classic handcrafted cocktails. Plus, with 40 big screen TVs, Sammy's is also the perfect place to catch your favorite game. Satisfy your craving anytime, 24/7, tableside or in the dining room at Sammy's Restaurant and Bar at Stone's Gambling Hall. Hello. Welcome to a special edition of Stone's Live Poker. My name is Veronica Brill. Tonight we have a special guest commentator. If you don't know him, tune in.
Turn over to ESPN.
Yeah, ESPN. He's on right now. He's competing with himself, Mr. Lon McEachern himself.
Hi, sweetie. Very happy to be here.
I am honored. I am honored to be able to do this show with you. This is like a dream come true for me. Bye-bye, Norman Chad. You're not here tonight. So,
oh, if I could trade you out. Oh, my gosh. Contracts are an evil thing.
Yes. So tonight we have a 6-max final table. And 6-max, I really love a good 6-max game. The pressure is on. The blinds are coming around a lot faster than normal. You gotta play some more hands. You gotta open up your range a bit. And it can get uncomfortable.
Absolutely, and that's what poker's supposed to be. I mean, that is the tenet of No Limit Hold'em, is you make a moment where your opponent is uncomfortable. And 6-max makes everyone uncomfortable all the time, and they're going to get out of their comfort zone. They're going to push the envelope, and you're going to see some fireworks, probably.
I feel like I'm going to be uncomfortable because you're going to be using big words that I haven't, that Jake doesn't use, that I'm not used to hearing. The sophisticated
time to
commentary.
elevate your game. No, 6-max is, every final table becomes a 6-max table.
Yes.
And that is part of what you learn. People don't often get to a final table, so they don't know how to play in the situation. Here you're starting out in 6-max, so you're getting final table experience from the first card you're dealt in a 6-max event. So if you're going to play poker, find a 6-max event. It will change your game. It will make you a better player. One
thing just to clarify, we are starting with 7 at the final table because of the regulations. We can't have a table run with 3 on one table and 4 on another. So we play down to 7. And so that's the way it is, folks. Read it and
like
leave.
it or leave it.
They're gonna like it. They're gonna like it.
All the guys are good guys. I've talked to them all. Old table. We got an older table. 40-ish guys and things like that. You know.
When I look at them, I thought 25. All of them.
One of them is 28. So we have 28. We've got 36, and then 31-year-old who's been on the stream before, and Eric. Then you got 45, 46, 46, and the guy didn't want to tell me.
I was trying to be complimentary, but that's fine. You can tell them their real age. Yeah, so we can go down to the table. In seat 1, we can see we've got Shane sitting there. So seat 1 is not exactly in our typical seat 1. He's sitting in seat 2. His name is Shane. He's sitting on 515K. If you look down at the stream, you can see our average stack is almost 320,000. Total chips in play are 2.2 million. We started out with 149 players. We have 7 remaining. Blinds currently are 5,000, 10,000 with 1,000 ante. So Shane's sitting at 515K. I think he's the biggest stack, so he is our chip leader, and he's well above average. Yoda in seat 2, sitting on 366K, so he's just over average. That's a nice place to be, especially in a 6-max. Eric, 346. I know that you wrote down some stuff on each of these people, so feel free to just.
I just know them just from being here. I know I haven't talked to them at all. Yes.
Yeah, you represent Stones.
I represent Stones. I'm the Stones ambassador. I'm so proud to say that. It's so exciting. I talked to a guy yesterday before I got knocked out with aces. That
rub that in.
Story to be told later. Who here for the first time, and he says he just loves the place. Anybody who walks into Stones just goes nuts over it, and of course the longhorn steer. You can't not love that.
We all want to hear your Aces story later because none of us have heard it before. So, so William in seat 4, 211K. The Wolf in seat 5, watch out, 306K. Dan Carpetman in seat 6, 277K, and then Jimmy with our short stack at 115K. So cards are in the air.
I met Jimmy last year. Not here. Jimmy works at the AT&T Park San Francisco Giants dugout store, and that's why he's wearing a Detroit Tigers hat tonight, Jimmy. But he is wearing a Giants sweater of sorts, a windbreaker. But anyway, yeah, I met him last year. My son and I went to a World Series game, not last year, but the year before at AT&T, and we ran each other tonight. He is sitting in seat 7, so it was great to see him. And we got a ton of hats here. No, everybody's wearing hats.
Yeah.
Except, is it Daryl in seat 5, maybe?
Yeah, looks like he's the only one.
Or no, it's seat 6. Yeah.
William did put in a race here. Shane put in a race here, and William called, and then looks like.
So just some very nuts and bolts. Let me sit in. You see the number next to the player's name. I had some people the other day wondering. When I played on Veronica and Friends the other day, my sisters were wondering, didn't know who was who.
Which you were a big hit, by the way. You were a big hit on Veronica and Friends.
Nice to hear.
Everybody had your signs. Did Angelina call you? That's what we want to know.
Well, she's still technically married, so I cannot say a word about that. But when their name comes up, you can see, we'll identify the players as we go through, and we'll be able to see seat 1's, it's Shane in the orange, and he's in the no hat, stuff like that. But anyway, like William sitting in seat 4, the Wolf sitting in seat 5. Just so you know the nuts and bolts of how this all works. The cards are red with a little chip inside them, and the players put them on that little square or diamond, depending on what's going on. And Jimmy's moving all in from the 7th seat.
Dan put in a race of 30K, so 3X under the gun, and then Jimmy quickly goes all in with a king-queen offsuit.
I like it better if it's suited.
Tank X87 says hats are positive EV confirmed.
But he's got the best hand. Jimmy's got the best hand.
Correlation and causation, if you're wearing a hat, you have better chance of getting to a final table, obviously.
So I was able to get he's just not the Wolf. He's actually Daryl Steed, his name. I was able to get that out of him, but he's gone. So it's on Dan, who's become a good friend of mine here at Stones. He's here a lot.
Dan is a good guy. Ask him about his dancing. He thinks he's the world's greatest dancer also. Plenty of Snapchats going around in Sacramento of Dan. They call him the Carpet Man, maybe because he
owns a carpet cleaning business.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe it was because he's like a good dancer on a carpet.
No, cutting the rug, you mean?
Cutting the rug. That's what I was.
You were going for that.
I set you up and you slam dunked it. Nice. There we go.
Well, it's funny. I'm glad Dan folded. He was just telling me a bad beat story about how he went out of the tournament yesterday where he did an uncharacteristic shove with King Queen, which is what Jimmy had, and a guy called him with Jack 10. So
he told you the same story that he told me before you got here.
Well, just telling everybody.
Get it off his chest.
Careful walking into Stones right now. You have to hear bad beat stories.
I Am Horror Crusher said Jimmy played solid and Shane was running hot. So, the guys were all playing in the tournament before, and now they're tuning in begrudgingly.
Yeah, I ran into Al, who's in charge of the Western Senior Poker Series, and I didn't recognize him because his head was kind of down walking out. I just got knocked out. I missed the final table. It's typical walk-away scene.
And nothing I like more than some fun table talk, and Dan the Carpet Man's always good for that.
So if you're just watching this again for the first time, or a lot of family tune in for these streams as well, so they don't know what's going on. It's just kind of, you get used to the pattern of all the cards coming up and they're going away, and you kind of see who's got what, but they're being displayed as in order of action. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
hopefully.
Not necessarily.
Okay. All right. So it's reader.
Yes, but the action actually starts under the gun, even though we show the small blind first.
Right.
I don't need to tell you about this.
Not for
game.
me. We're talking to people out there who are watching a stream for the first time. So it's come down to King Jack and King Queen. And there's a Jack for Shane.
I was about to say Yoda's dominating Shane badly, and
He was.
until the flop. A C bet here is pretty much standard when you're the initial raiser.
This is Joe Hansen, by the way. He did begrudgingly give me his real name, Joda, but Joe Hansen.
I call him Yoda.
He's from Yoda. It's fine.
I do. Every time he's on our live stream, I call him Yoda. He's actually a lot of fun to watch. He's a cash game assault weapon. I'll tell you that.
He lives right here in Citrus Heights.
He looks like he's going in for a race.
Yep. So the 40K came from King Queen, and now King Jack with top pair is going to get big.
Yeah, if anyone's interested, those black chips are 1,000. The lavender are our new 5,000 chips, correct? Because we used to have orange lavender.
They were red.
5,000.
Yeah, right.
And they used to mess us up. And the yellow are 10K. And hopefully we can get some plaques. Everyone enjoys the plaques.
We had way too many plaques. We need 100K chips here in the house. I don't know, they're expensive.
Who do we need to talk to about this?
Yeah, right. I had a plaque the other day.
So 40K to call. It's a min raise.
And he calls.
Of course he does. How are you going to fold top pair with a backdoor flush draw? I can't. Come on, honey.
Yeah.
Linda, come on.
Why doesn't he raise it?
That's another option. Maybe he wants to keep all of Yoda's bluffs in his range.
Well, there's going to be no flush. Even to bluff at. Well, there could have just been a third diamond still, but.
And there's something to be said for just some pot control when you have someone that's very aggressive.
Pot control's key, yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to lose your entire stack with just top pair.
You don't want to go anywhere with top pair. I mean, you happen to be dragging a pot with top pair, and that's, again, you read back to the old Doyle Brunson super system. It's like, don't go broke with one pair. You know, I can just see Doyle writing that, back in the 70s. So
now
it's not a scary board for top pair.
Shane's just wondering, am I up against two pair? Is Jack 8 within his calling range of my raise? Or did he flop a set on me? It's possible. It's possible pocket eights could have flopped a set. And would Yoda, he's been playing with Yoda probably for hours, would Yoda play this hard with a set? But he's been getting checked too, so you want to put some money in the pot if you do have a set. The bet's not huge. It's 80K. And the pot was about 250K before that, so it's not a huge bet. So just to let you know, Lon, because I don't know how often you do commentary with us here. Once before.
Twice. No, this is twice.
This 332 is also including Yoda's bet.
Yes.
Wow, we folded top pair. I'm really surprised the way it played out. I think he put him on a set of deuces or a set of eights.
We don't have ace jack. He doesn't have the nut jack.
And I'll tell you that position is so important in a six max, especially. You want to exploit the position, and you want to you need to open up your range a bit. So Yoda's now in the lead. Yeah, 500K. He had position there, and he had what I like to call the kahunas.
A what?
The kahunas.
The kahunas?
Kahunas.
Kahunas, yes.
Coconuts.
Coconuts is big on our show right now. Monkey nuts, coconuts, heart of a lion. If you watch the World Series shows this week, you'll know.
Yeah, you are competing with yourself. You are on right now on ESPN and on Stones, and you're kind of a big deal. There you are.
Big deal right now, yeah. Thank you for not watching the debates. Thanks for tuning in, by the way.
Everyone.
Debates will be on later.
Yeah, who cares about the debates? It's just going to send Twitter into craziness.
All right, let's see what happens. The wolf.
Yoda continues here, and he's raising it up.
Into ace king of hearts. Wait till we get to the wolf on the button.
So Yoda raises to 30K. Again, that's 3x the big blind. It's standard. I like to go 2.5x. You can get away with the same amount, with the same thing, with 2.5x, but risking less. The wolf is 30K to call. I don't know if he's on the button.
And you can see that's what also for the newbies out there. +1 is under the gun +1, so the under the gun is first act. +1 is the next person to act. Of course, you get small blind, big blind, and the button the last act pre-flop.
I hope he didn't just call. I hope that he put in a raise here. You want to. Yeah, he 3 bets to 166. And And also, you don't want Yoda to be.
Yeah, so he did put it in the raise.
Yeah.
Jimmy folded his sixes. It was going to be all in.
So 166. So it's 130. It's a huge 3-bet. It's a very huge. Like the debate's gonna be huge.
And he got a fold from King
That's
9
my
suited.
Trump impression. Did you like that?
Yeah,
Huge.
Your hand's about the same size as Trump's, actually.
Nice.
So Ace King could win pre-flop. You just got to bet it. So see the stack sizes. 15 big blinds. Jimmy and William in seat 4. Will are in tough shape here.
Yeah.
6 max.
Started out with 149 players, 6 at each table. If you're just tuning in, this is our 6 max. We did have to start this final table with 7 because of regulations, but this was a 6 max event.
As part of the Stones Fall Classic. Classic. So yes, that's going on all week. There's a main event coming up this weekend, so you want to get involved.
Chris Moneymaker's coming up for the main event, and he's going to be doing commentary with Jake. And I'm excited. I haven't seen Chris Moneymaker do any commentary. So
he's done a lot.
Fun.
Europe and some of the other off-brand shows. Europe is so like that. So yeah, you'll see what's supposed to happen also in 6 max, as you mentioned, is that the hand ranges, get wider and wider. You're going to call with hands that you wouldn't normally call with, maybe, and that happens at a final table anyway. But these guys have been doing it again since they said triple up and deal.
Now we look at Jimmy calling for 5K in the small blind with Jack Deuce, and that's not a great hand, but because of the amount of money that's in the pot,
take a shot.
You actually need to take a shot. You need to. There's more pressure on you in the shorthand tournaments. Liquid Asia, nice to see you. Babyface ATL. It is Lon and V.
Hey there.
I've been trying to get Stones to replace Jake, and finally they've answered my prayers.
Yeah.
And my calls and my requests.
I'm opposite Jake.
Aunt Doom in the chat. Aunt Doom is Anthony, call your mother, one of our regulars.
We're heads up. We got the top pair, and nobody's going to like that ace. Nobody's going to like that club.
Yeah, that'll probably slow down some action here. Shane with the best hand with a 10.
Shane will win it on the showdown. Nothing happened on the river.
Bart Hansen talks about this all the time. People tend to lose some value.
Bart Hansen talks a lot about a lot of things. But go ahead.
Losing value on the river. Because he did have top pair. That ace, you can't expect someone with just a dry ace to be sticking around floating 2 streets. So I think
at most card rooms.
In this kind of tournament. So
You're right.
I think he lost a little bit of value not betting there. Unless he put his opponent on a better 10, but there's a less of a chance that his opponent has a 10. I always say, I notice it in cash games that there's some value lost on the river when someone is calling down, when your opponent is calling down.
How much do you learn about your future opponents when you're watching the Stone stream?
A lot.
A lot.
I know everybody. I know all of the tendencies. That's why when I get on Veronica and Friends, and then
And that in itself is a good learning tool.
Yes.
To watch, to learn, to adjust your game and change it next time you're playing.
And then this time you didn't own my soul, so I was happy.
Well, no, if we played 1 or 2 pots only, I guess. I don't remember.
It's well known at Stones Live that Lon McEachern owns Veronica's soul in a cash game.
I didn't get a chance. I was seated too far from you.
Yeah.
But I drank your wine.
You're welcome.
Thank you, dear.
So Yoda puts in a raise to 30K, gets 2 callers, to a flop. If hearts come, it will be disastrous.
Of course, they all have hearts, so no hearts come on.
King 6-3, 2 clubs.
Just a straight draw for Shane. We'll get her. And Yoda too. No. Shane.
Yoda flops middle pair here, and Yoda's continuing with the aggression. And I just think Shane is in such a bad seat. When you have an aggressive player to your left, it's so hard. He does only have an inside straight draw, but it is so hard to pick up any momentum when you have someone plowing into every hand that you're in and has position on you. almost every hand except for one.
Should I call him Yoda? Even though he said Yoda to me, do you want to call him Yoda? I like Yoda. Much
Yeah,
better.
I mean,
We're going to call him Yoda.
I rename everybody. I don't
We're
know
gonna call him Yoda.
if you're watching the stream regular. I rename everybody. Mastasy has been renamed to Mustak. Plastic CA is Plastica. You know, I give them my Eastern European names.
I'm just a guest, Yoda. It's going to go Yoda.
Yeah. I mean, I like Yoda. I like Yoda. Yeah,
Good
we've
enough.
been calling him Yoda.
Okay, that's fine. So the card reader sometimes not cooperation by the players, and that's why you see the 2 red blank cards because they haven't put it on the reader just yet. Because they haven't gotten the cards yet.
Jake's in the chat, and he wrote hashtag upgrade for you.
Oh, what's he doing?
I know, Jake. I know. Well, he's trolling us. Like
I'm just temporary.
He's sad. He's like.
I'm just a fling tonight,
He
Jake.
said
Don't
that
worry.
Lon's in his place. It's
I'm
just a
just a
fling.
fling.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny. All right, so pocket pair for Eric, Ace Jack for Dano.
So Dan, the carpet man, looks like he's raising to 41.
That's a pretty good size raise. That's
So
3x plus.
Blinds did actually just go up to 6,000, 12,000 with a 2,000 ante.
Move the blinds. Move the blinds.
Eric's got a pocket pair. You can't. I mean, You can't wait around for better. I mean, you know what you're up against. You're probably up against some sort of strong ace or maybe an overpair. But if you hit your 4, it's called Money Town.
Look at this.
And a little re-raise.
I like it.
Bet,
Eric
yeah.
played on the stream. He said his biggest cash was here on the last Sunday event. He played in the Monday stream on June 1st, and he cashed for like $10,800 in his biggest cash ever. So he's back here on the stream. Congratulations to Eric.
Congratulations, Eric.
And
This is tough because Ace Jack's not generally, depending on how there's a meta game going on, but Ace Jack generally doesn't fare well to a 3-bet. Even though he has position, though, yeah.
Ace Jack likes to see a cheap flop, but Dan's also got to raise with it.
Do for AU says, oh man, Lon's not staying. Well, Lon is a part of our poker room. He actually has his own condo in the back. He stays here if he needs to.
I have to be here. I'm always here.
Red carpet treatment
I'm
for Lon.
vacuuming your table when it goes empty.
No, you're not. Come on, we treat him better than that. We love Lon here. He's our ambassador.
I give money away.
Half of us, Stone's live commentary team, have his picture, his face tattooed on our chests. We haven't showed you. We did it kind of as a surprise.
Half of this commentating team does?
Half. Just Val and I.
Do I have to show it?
Just me and Val. No, I mean like our regular commentary team.
Okay.
We adore Lon.
Also for the first timers, the Wolf will be under the gun. That's why his name was up first. So you know where the action starts.
And then it all changes.
And then just forget it. Yeah, try to look at it. Don't blink. Don't blink when you look at the screen, okay? And also gives you an idea out there on how many people don't get hands when you're dealt. How big hands don't make it into poker sometimes, you know?
Yeah, and so Jimmy in the hijack, Ace Jack Diamonds, very strong hand in a 6 max. It's 7-handed right now, very strong hand.
And if you ask him, he says, no, it's just Ace Jack. But look at us, we know it's big.
And so if you guys want to know the payouts, you can see them scrolling across the screen.
And we're going to have a new feature tonight.
What's our new feature?
Our new feature is when, you notice it's only going 1 through 7. And then the name will go up once they're busted, so you can see who finished in order. How about that?
I love it.
I'm already producing the show.
I didn't know. So if I need changes done, do I just tell you and then you will make it happen?
Come to me, pour the drink, and it happens.
Lon, anytime you want anything, I will bring.
Nice.
I was actually going to make an apple pie, but my husband got delayed, and with my son, I couldn't get to it. You know, little toddler,
Sorry,
you can't.
I still have cookies left over that I made. Did you see my cookies I brought in?
Well, if you put my name on the bag like you did last time, I'll take them.
They had Justin's name.
I'm going to make you an apple pie before the holidays. You hear that?
Quote my good friend Antonio Sandiari, it's hard to make a pair, so you look at all those cards, 1 pocket pair. The Wolf.
Jimmy Bluffett, nice to see you. Reno Grinder, how are you, my darling? Nice to see you in the chat. 1776 Freedom Fighter, he says Lon. They're all big fans.
It's so easy to type. Veronica, it's so hard to type.
Yeah.
You say B is good.
So again, Yoda continues with the aggression, raises to 30K in the cutoff.
He might get 3-bet though.
The
He
wolf. The wolf is in the big blind, so it's 18K to call. I think he's just going to call with his pocket sevens.
Oh, he raised.
Did he?
Didn't he? Oh, he,
That seat for me is the hardest to see the action because I really rely on watching the player. So
yeah, it's kind of in the corner.
So he did 3-bet to 70K, and Yoda's
Oh,
like,
wow.
I'm not taking it anymore because Yoda's very aggressive, but he's also getting pushback. He's getting a lot of pushback.
But he called with 5-4 spades just to uphold his reputation.
I think sometimes if he doesn't, it can be exploitable.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, and
Look at that. Bottom pair in a set.
And we've seen Yoda be very aggressive with middle pair.
Middle pair, yeah, I'm sorry.
So-
no, it's bottom pair in a set, yeah.
Oh, sorry, bottom pair. But I think that the wolf would have. He was the original 3-better. I think he would have continued to c-bet even with ace king here.
Yeah.
You have to maintain your aggression. You'll be exploited so easily if you don't.
I like that Daryl, the wolf, Steed, I like that he bet it out. I mean, he's up against a player who is very aggressive. He might get a call, he might not, it doesn't matter.
Another way you can play against a very aggressive opponent is check to him and let him keep all his bluffs in his range.
If he knew he hit the board, I think he would have checked.
Yeah.
But he's got to worry, you know?
Wow, Yoda folds. Yoda's a very thinking player, I notice. He's very aggressive. It's a scary combination. I feel like I'm talking too much. Like Norman Chad probably lets you talk a little more.
No, it's the other way around. You're the lead. I'm the Norman Chad. I just interject.
No, I don't want Norman Chad. I want Lon.
Yoda has been playing poker since he was 8 years old. Played Penny Ante at Easter with his aunts and uncles.
How do you know all of this stuff? I do that. I see these people all the time, and they don't tell me anything. You're just.
You know, I have that
You're
aura when
you're
they
Lon.
open up. I'm like a bartender / therapist. They just want to tell me their problems.
How much do you charge an hour for that therapy?
Not enough. Not enough.
Bad beats are free, right? You wear that shirt?
Yeah, as long as you let me tell the bad beat stories, you can talk to me about whatever therapy items.
So I guess you're the nicest famous person that this gentleman in the chat has ever met, JK0014. I played with Lon one time. Lon is the nicest famous person I've ever met.
Oh, that's nice.
I mean, Madonna was nicer than Lon, but I mean,
Madonna will do other things.
so looks like it's Carpet Matt's putting in a raise here. And he looks very comfortable. There's nothing scarier than someone putting in a raise and then being very comfortable. And
Yeah, it was his option, and he didn't want to just limp in with 10-8.
Your fans.
And they're
You
here.
can't keep 'em away.
There's paparazzi coming around.
The booth is getting surrounded by Lon fans.
Everyone but servers.
Yeah, I don't get this even.
You know, I love that blind on blind dynamic. There's stuff we say on the show about how, you know, when it's folded to the button, it's poker rules where you have to raise. If it's folded to the small blind, poker rules say you have to raise. But then nobody believes a button raise most of the time, never a small blind raise. Nobody believes a big blind raise, but the big blind had the best. And it's that whole dynamic there when you have chips in the pot,
the
how
metagame.
the whole ego and everything starts riling up. You raise me, I'm going to raise you. You know, and there's been more chips probably lost in blind on blind situations needlessly than any other confrontation.
Well, I always say it's about fear and ego, and you can definitely let your ego get the best of you when you take it personally, when your blind's always getting raised by someone,
Well,
right?
yeah. But by the same person, yeah, yeah, and that's
No, by
when you
anyone.
do. Right? No, no, but
Yeah,
it happens.
by the
It's
same
still
person.
different. But if it's one person, then
But yeah, if the small blind's constantly raising you, it can get frustrating. You can start taking it personal. The important thing is not to take it personal.
You can't. It's not. I mean, it's business, and it's again, poker is life. This is business. You're here and you're working. You're in the boardroom. You're playing poker. What I do to you here with the check raise means nothing when we go outside and talk. We're still friends, and
It's
it should
like
be
that
that.
Bugs Bunny cartoon where the wolf checks in.
Oh, right. Yeah. Hey, Floyd. Hi, Ralph. You know, I'm watching the sheep. You're trying to steal the sheep. You know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Super word. That's why you said you could watch it in a couple minutes.
I played a lot with Dan, and Dan a lot of times will come and stand behind me after he's been knocked out, and he likes to visit the table. And we had a thing for a while where he thought he was my good luck charm. But
He thinks he's
I've been
everybody's
cashed
good
here
luck
since I
charm.
met Dan, so I don't think that's quite true.
Yeah. He'd like to think so.
Yeah.
You got a pair off. You got the right pair.
So a raise from Dan with the ace, the weak ace, but at 6 max, 7 max, weak ace is a pretty good ace.
Yeah, and you can see he is dominating. I mean, not huge dominating, but Shane's got a suited king 10, so the percentage is a little higher for him.
King hits the board.
And 2 people with kings. And
Wow.
let's see if the aggression continues out of the small blind. He was the original raiser.
Dan, what are you doing? Sometimes okay not to see bet.
I agree with you, especially with 2 opponents. What are they calling with? You got to think one of them is
Somebody's got a
an
king,
ace.
right?
Or sorry, a king,
yeah.
Pardon me. And so, as soon as you get called, as soon as okay, so he's getting raised here.
Shane with the bigger king just raised.
So Dan's got to have some alarms going off in his head right now.
Dan can't play this.
And if Shane calls this, sorry, if William calls this, no, William did not. Williams throws away his king 7. Wow, that's a huge
Good fold. Dan, you know, he's put in 30 of his 147. He's got 117 left or so. And this could be all or nothing. And it's nothing, yeah. Dan's not happy. Dan probably wouldn't have made that bet. Shane giving the needle.
The table talk is the fun, and I heard that there were some table talk issues at the World Series this year.
Yes, there have been. William Kassouf, the former lawyer from Britain. Yeah, he is reignited a debate, and he's pretty much Jamie Gold 2.0. He's got a pretty good patter down. He says a lot of the same things, but he's saying it to different people. But it tended to wear thin near the end. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but you get tired of that. Even though, except for one occasion where I do think he broke the rules, he was bumping up to the rules. And all legal. I mean, talking should be legal in poker.
You know, I actually enjoy a bit of drama. I mean, no one wants to watch quiet people stare each other down in a poker game,
right,
especially if they're folding a lot. So you want a little bit of drama, right?
Absolutely. No, absolutely. And
I like it.
Just to give you some inside knowledge, what happens with the shows in the World Series shows is that the producers put the shows together, we get a copy of the shows, and then we're able to view the shows, and we go into the studio and we voice the shows. So we know what happens ahead of time. So I'm just looking at a show today where things really come to a head, which you'll see in a few weeks on ESPN2. And it's good for the game to talk about these, burrs in the saddle. You gotta polish them up and make the game right. Jimmy's all in.
Jimmy's all in
King,
again.
Queen.
This time with King Queen, and he knows that he's only got 149,000, less than half the average, and he knows he has to put in a move.
So he's 24, 30,000. What was Jimmy? Jimmy's in the small blind, so he just picks up 24,000 to his stack. But that is a good hit to his stack.
Yeah.
It's more than, it's 15% almost.
Kathy's in the chat. Aloha, Kathy. She's in Hawaii. She
Aloha.
missed out.
Still daylight.
I don't know if I said hello to Jimmy Bluffett, one of our regulars. Derminator. I haven't seen you in the chat before. Welcome. Nice to see you. A lot of our usuals. I'm surprised Plastica's not here.
They'll get her.
Yeah.
They'll pick it up. Come 7:30.
Plastica's one of those, Jimmy Bluffett, and one of those that is going to be at every stream. Or she's in the hospital. That's only no.
No, we don't want that. We don't want that.
Just
We don't want
joking.
that.
I'm just joking.
So these are 30-minute levels, and that's a, they do some tournaments here where they have 40-minute levels, so that's 30-minute levels is good for the Fall Classic, little specialness. I assume, did Tuckman play this one today, or did they go home?
No, Tuck and Bart went home today, this morning.
Okay.
Because,
great to have them here. Good to have them here. They really love Stones too, and they do some, analysis on hands for Stones Live, and that's great. You'll see that on break.
Well, Crush Live Poker sponsors us and uses a lot of our footage. So
I can't do this with more than 4 players, so I'll leave it.
King, Queen, 10 on the flop, I believe. I know that Wolf flops 2 pairs here. Yoda with bottom pair.
He's got a 10, huh? No, it's going to end it, looks like. Jimmy told me that he's just not picking up hands. Jimmy, the Giants dugout guy on the right, he's from San Francisco. He plays down at the Oaks and often gets, I'm not going to say that. Anyway, he recreational player. This is probably could be his biggest cash. He's enjoying it. He came up, he heard about Stones and heard good things about it, so he came up and look, here he is on the stream, final
he's
table.
On the stream, final table.
Yeah.
That's the one great thing about this series is that besides our main event, all of our events have been one day with pretty big guarantees, and we've met and surpassed all of them.
Yes.
And so people can come from the Bay Area and say, you know what, I've only got one day, I'm gonna drive down, play, and then you can go home with $3,000-$4,000 in your pocket.
Yeah, top prize, $4,700.
Yeah.
And Will, the short stack right now with a suited ace under the gun.
Ryan 000714, welcome to the chat. Yes, it's pink, baby.
Will's going to fold it under the gun. It's good because Yoda had ace 4. We'll see what happens when it gets around to him in the small. Dan's still stinging a bit. He's lost a bunch of his stack. He had a lot more of the banana chips earlier. And now Jimmy with a suited ace. Jimmy wants all you can eat, baby.
Again, he's been constantly going all in and choosing good spots with really good hands for this type of game. I really like the game he's playing. And it's been some good timing on his part too, as far as the good hands he's received. And no one else has had anything better, right?
There you go.
But it's hard to get great hands. You've got to make moves, and that's how you get far in a 6-max. You kind of have to open up your range.
Well, and it's still you have that aura of early position raiser should have something pretty decent. Even though he is a shorter stack, 15 big blinds now for Jimmy, and 2 shorter stacks than his. So just you can see where Jimmy's gone. From the short stack, he's moved up a couple of notches already just by being aggressive, picking up, an ace, a suited ace. You're going to go with it in this format, and most of the time, you're not going to run into a bigger hand, except once.
except that one time that you do.
Except the last time.
So they're asking, why you're doing commentary here.
I'm not. I'm a guest.
Yeah, he's a guest, and he's also our Poker Room ambassador.
Oh, that's why I'm here. That's right.
You can also tune into ESPN because he's on there right now.
We're still on?
We're competing with.
And they had Lon here in the room.
With Lon. So
there's no competition.
Dan the Carpet Man's all in. Here we go. King Jack offsuit. Doesn't matter.
Jimmy might.
Great hand.
I wonder if Jimmy does this here.
Jimmy's just got a little bit more than him.
I know, but he's folding the ace 10.
An ace 10 is a great hand to shove with, but not a great hand to call a shove with, right?
Absolutely. Plus, in that position, he's got to figure he's probably up against a pair. You hate to be up against a pair, but it doesn't matter. Dan had the chutzpah with the king jack off.
The chutzpah, the coconuts, the chutzpah. So you can see the stacks there. Blinds are currently at 6,000, 12,000 with a $2,000 ante. You can watch the payout at the bottom of the screen. It's scrolling there. Top prize is $47.38. Everyone asks about chopping. You have to, on our stream, the way we do things, you have to play 2 hours before you can start chopping the win. So
yeah, we don't want them all chopped 7 away, and then you guys are left looking at us for 2 hours, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, like I brought my baton to do some spinning.
I can juggle.
Yeah, let's do it.
No, not unless they all leave.
Sideshow. Sideshow Lon.
All right, so Will, again, keep an eye on Will. He's the short stack. William, seat 4, ace 8 in the small blind.
I think, well, unfortunately, Yoda has ace king, and again, and this is happening again and again. Shane coming in for a raise, and Yoda is
holding over Shane.
Yes, and it's just again and again, and then this diminishes William's hand.
30,000. 30.
Shane just
25.
called. Sorry, Shane just limped.
And
so
I think you're at 25. Is that Yoda?
Yeah,
2
25.
yellows and a lavender.
He's been going to 30 most of the time. Even when the blinds were 5,000, 10,000,
Eric
he was
with
going
Queen
to 30.
Jack called 25. Will the short stack with ace 8, and he's just going to call.
Yeah, this is peculiar.
What does Will want to do?
I think the raise was so small, and there were already so many limpers that everyone else just decided
William
to
needs
call.
it to come 8-8, and then maybe an ace. Maybe he'll get away with his chips. So that's the fun part about it. Look at this. Look at all this action, and everyone. This is like the preamble, and now a couple of chapters have written, and then now we're going to get into the middle of the book here with what, 5 players? Going to see it. 4, 5, 6. And now gut shot for Will, a pair for the Wolf.
So Yoda's going to continue here, but I personally, in his spot with so many people in the hand, I probably would check this.
Shane did check Yoda bet.
It might work because no
45.
one. The Wolf has a pair, but is he going to stick around? So it looks like he's reaching for chips.
Well, the Wolf can afford to, but it is a pretty. You know, what was it? It was a third of the pot. So there's a
and
call.
Shane's out of here.
All right. So no pair against middle pair.
To the turn.
Oh, okay. And, you know, Yoda hates it, but I don't think he cares about the board. But
Yeah.
there's nothing he can really rep out there.
They're, drawing to a chop. So the Wolf right now.
Pair of 5s. Comes out of a 5-way flop with a pair of 5s, and he's going to win it.
Does Yoda think that, does Yoda think ace high is good here? That's what you
That's
got.
very possible, but with that many people in the hand, you got to figure somebody might have had, something in that range.
Yoda was the one that led out, and the Wolf called him. What would he call him with? Would he call him with just ace high?
Well, it depends on how long they've been playing together.
Exactly,
I asked these guys that, do you have a nemesis here, that somebody who's been holding over you, and nobody really pointed each other out except, oh wow, and there's.
Wow.
There's a move.
Yoda just calls? Wow. So, Miss Stack, I'm not ignoring the chat. I am tuned in. I mentioned your name before we even joined the show. I'm with the wonderful and amazing Lon McEachern tonight, and I'm letting him do his thing. I don't want to interrupt him.
It's a thing.
I don't
It's
mind.
a thing.
I don't mind interrupting Jake. I don't mind interrupting Justin.
She's complaining about you interrupting? I
No,
was
I'm
interrupting
just
you. I
telling-
was worried about
I'm just-
interrupting you.
I'm just telling them. They're wondering why I'm not, talking to the chat.
Oh.
I'm just.
I see what you mean.
Letting the hand
Bring the
play
chat.
out.
Chat's our family. That's who.
Yeah.
That's who keeps us going here.
They're asking, I think, about Chachi, and that you bring your dog
Come on,
around,
really?
and he's adorable. Is that what they're talking about? So Chachi's a guest commentator tonight. This is Chachi. Hi. No kisses. That's Chachi. Chachi almost gave me a
There's
kiss.
Josh. He comes around. He's going back.
He has like little cow,
Blankets. It's his
No, I mean like
cuddles.
his coat is like a little
Oh.
cow spots.
Yeah.
Calves.
And that was like a cattle little calf thing, or yes.
I don't know what the official term for that
I don't
is.
either. I'm not a cattle man.
Cattleman.
He's a deerhead Chihuahua for you Chihuahua aficionados out there. But a street survivor. He was rescued off the street by my family, so we're happy to have him.
Justin Stone said no food in the booth.
Yes, that's a famous line when I bring him here. It's legal to bring him here. He's a service dog. Well, first time I walked in with, I'm sorry, no outside food in the poker room.
We are dog friendly though. I've seen many people bring their dogs here. It's awesome. I love it. So
if they're properly contained, you can't just have them sitting on the table. It shouldn't be that way.
what? That dog took like 1K pot off me.
Dog's playing poker. Did you recognize it? Oh, Dan's all in.
So everybody limped around perfect time.
Pocket pair.
Perfect time. So all in for.
Well, Will's all in with Ace King.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Will is all in for Ace King, and
Dan
the carpet man is
overshoved.
all in. Yep.
So
See, we were talking about the dog, and we lost track of the action.
nah, we don't care about the action. It's all about us. It's about us. You know, we were talking about me, I think. Why would we interrupt that?
Chachi and Lon and Veronica. That's the importance order.
So here we go. We got, William, does he have suits on him? Yeah, he's got both suits on him. That's why William's percentage is more than a flip here, because he owns both suits in this flop here. But it is Will at risk with Ace King. And there are 2 spades in there, so he can still go runner, spade. Oh, okay, now there is a draw. He needs a 10 or an ace or a king. Dan hits the tray on the river, and Will is our first victim.
Wow. Will would be taking home $715 in 7th place. Thank you, Will. That was a great play. I mean, there's always a river.
Dan didn't need to do the tray on the river. You know, I thought that was kind of, evil of him. But all right, it's all right. So we're down to 6 max.
So Clan Contractor has sent us 100. They're cheering points, and he wants you to do a Phil Ivey impression. I don't know why he keeps asking for that. Do you do a Phil Ivey impression?
No, I don't. But here's Phil Ivey, current Phil Ivey poker impression.
He's gone, right?
He's gone.
Disappeared. No, I don't feel it.
He's just quiet. He just sits there. And then you need to have like the couple that stand behind him and always cheer
they're
for him
wonderful.
and bring him food.
They were there this year. They're there every year.
You need to have them stand behind you.
Go.
And there's your impression.
All right, so Will is our 7th place finisher. Dan knocked him out. Dan, there you go. Pocket trays. It's hard to make a pair.
Easy to make a set, though, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. You just have to pick the right hand to play to hit a set.
So Shane's been limping a lot under the gun here. Limping a lot just generally. So he calls here under the gun. Queen 9. It can be exploitable, I think, if you do too much limping, especially with such an aggressive table. I feel like it has been pretty aggressive.
It's
Wolf
playing
now
like a 6
raises.
max, right? I mean, they're playing how they've been playing.
The thing is, though, so now you're raised and you're just calling the raise. You know, how strong is your hand feeling right now against a raise?
I think
he's
3
dominated
bets,
right now.
I think 3 bets could be a lot stronger in a 6 max game.
Although, this is not a bad flop for Shane.
What's up
He's
with the jacks, huh? Yeah.
He's open-ended and the wolf has top pair.
Shane's got clubs as well. Backdoor-ish.
Yeah. Tank X87 says Lon does impressions. He's just like us normal people. I know. Famous people are just like us. I've even seen you at a grocery store, I think.
That might be the meanest thing somebody's ever said to me. I'm just like a normal person. Yeah.
Well,
on
we
TV,
think
man.
you're
I'm
super
on TV.
famous. You have people.
Can I walk
like,
out of this? I can't even walk out. You're in my way.
I'm sure you have people do grocery shopping for you.
Right.
You have an assistant.
We went today. Bought cheese. All right. 38 each. Let's see a turn card. That does not help us, dealer.
That's pretty much a brick. Shane seems to be in check call mode here, hoping to bank on the river. A little bit of maybe a little pot control here. He's out of position. He's always in these weird spots where he's out of position with a kind of a mediocre hand. His equity isn't too great. So this pot now, I'm just trying to see what he bet.
A bet from the wolf.
The thing is, so it was a 91K bet. I just wanted to see if he was getting the right odds, if he was going to get
So it's 150,
4-1.
150 in the pot, 90. and into 150.
He needed 5 to 1, or basically he didn't have enough money in the pot to call that bet.
All right, so the Wolf takes it down. The Wolf knows value, by the way. I mean, if he was value betting his jack, he got it because he's a trainer for Kelly Blue Book.
Really?
Companies that use the Kelly Blue Book online, he goes in and trains the people who are using Kelly Blue Book on how to use that. And so he
trainer
knows
of trainers?
A trainer of users of
Trainers of users.
He doesn't train the people within Kelly Blue Book. He trains the people the companies who use KBB. And so there you go.
A trainer of users.
Yep. Big cash player is Shane. Shane was up at in Tahoe a couple years ago and cashed for 70 grand at one of the circuit events. And then he told me he used that 70 grand to play the cash games and turn it into $700,000.
Damn, Daniel.
The man knows poker.
Wow. But he's probably not always stuck with a super aggressive guy raising him on his left all the time, right?
That is true. But he probably knows how to deal with that too. So Jimmy, who was the short stack, hanging in, so he's made at least 6th place money, 983. What was the buy-in?
Mine was, I believe, 150.
6 max was 150. So look at the investment. Perfect.
Great investment. Jimmy with an ace, facing a raise. So this is where you need to pick and choose your hands, your weak aces. You need to know, okay, my weak ace probably isn't going to fare well to a raise. I want to be the one raising with a weak ace.
I like a big stack.
Yoda calls.
Oh, yeah,
Yoda's very fearless.
Yeah, I think the stacks are actually similar because of the big knockout. And there's an ace for Yoda.
Oh, I just love it when you say that. I do.
And a couple of diamonds. Nobody's got a diamond. There's a 5, but now look who's got a draw. 3. Another 3 on the river for Dan. We'll sew this one up for him.
I think Yoda's checking him, letting him keep bluffs in his range, but I think he lost maybe a little bit of value there on the turn. I think that Dan may have called, thinking Yoda would have called with anything.
Dan's not going. Dan is putting it in.
Wow.
65,000 is a call.
And Yoda's a loose player.
Well, you know, he just the ace dangling out there, and Dan thought that Yoda, who'd been so aggressive, just repping the ace, and he was. Man, you hate somebody in a Dodger hat to be collecting chips, so that's all I gotta say. You know? And I can't believe Jimmy hasn't attacked his blind every time. Jimmy, who works for the Giants, in C7.
You're turning this into a sports, you know.
It's that time of year, damn it.
I'm a Raiders fan. I know none of this.
Well, they're all wearing your colors.
Yeah.
They won again, didn't they, yesterday? Wow. Barely. Had to have a flag on a penalty by the other team calling back. And
do you come here for some rack attacks too when they're playing? When anyone's
No, I haven't yet. I was playing in the tournament yesterday.
Do you know that in one game they gave away $1,200 in rack attacks?
Did they really?
Yeah, because there were 12 touchdowns in one game.
Wow.
And there were I think 3 tables at that time. And you know,
so the same tables kept getting the rack attack every time. Nice.
Crazy.
Oh, look at Jimmy's got pocket jacks. All right, we're going to see an all-in here. Where'd they go? Oh, there they are.
So Yoda's got pocket 5s in the big blind.
He might get a call.
You know, yeah. The thing is, okay, so he's got 159. The blinds are 16,000. He's just putting in a raise here. He doesn't want...
He doesn't want pocket jacks to ruin his life like they've ruined so many lives. You know what they call that? You haven't heard? Oh, you haven't watched the shows. That is officially the Lon McEachern Memorial Hand at the World Series of Poker. Pocket jacks. That's what they call it.
I haven't watched it this year.
Pocket jacks.
I've recorded all the episodes, and I'm going to binge watch it with my husband
when
we have time.
Look who's in the pot. You got Shane to come in the pot. See, it's a problem.
Shane has Shane's got problems.
This is what happened to me yesterday. You know, I flatted with aces.
So we're going to see a queen 5 jack flop.
Story will roll out over the next couple of hours.
5.
Oh, a set for Yoda. My gosh, that's what happens to jacks.
That's what happens
That's
to jacks.
what
and
happens.
It's a safe flop for
Exhibit
jacks. And he's all in.
1,223,000 of this week.
Good night. Goodbye, Jimmy. Good luck.
Yep.
It was nice playing with you.
All right, Jimmy.
Let's see if you can
That was a good call by Yoda.
river some magic.
Yeah. No, it's not going to happen. He can hope to chop with a straight. I guess 6 would be a good card here. Oh. Dan's going, I rivered that once. So that's it for Jimmy. Jimmy played well. We like him as a giant
So
fan.
Jimmy's picking up 6th place money for $983,000.
Yeah, that was tough. Tough break. Goes out with jacks.
I love our little update there.
So he was taken out by Yoda.
The rich get richer.
But what a tournament.
And what a gentleman. He goes around and shakes everyone's hands.
Yeah, 20-year-old Jimmy from San Francisco. Recreational
20.
player.
It's not even older
28.
than- Oh,
28.
okay.
28.
I was going to say, he's got a fake ID.
He loves stones, he said, and he loves coming here. But obviously, it's a commitment to get here from San Francisco. But we're glad he made the trek, and he's can almost fill up his car and get home.
Yeah, in California, definitely.
All right, 5-handed. So 5-handed, things get even more 6-maxy.
DZ U Breezy 29. Nice to see you in the chat. Haven't seen you in a little while. I feel like I haven't been in the booth in a little while.
Do you have chat groupies?
I do, yeah.
Cool.
I mean, not for me. I don't know. Maybe like one, my stalker, maybe.
Well, yeah,
You're not my chat groupie?
One stock. Well, I mean, I don't know how big a group it is that I'm part of, is what I'm saying.
So we're down to 5 at this final table of our Stones Classic 6 Max. It's a one-day event, $150 buy-in. 149 players started, 5 remain, ladies and gentlemen. They have to play for at least 2 hours before they chop. So pressure stays on for 2 hours.
It should.
We enjoy watching them go through torture and agony. do we not?
Absolutely. When we wish we could be there.
I know. I thought you were playing this event, actually.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't going to play because obviously I would have made the final table.
Obviously, yeah. 695 on the
okay.
flop.
2 spades. We got spades for Eric. Eric is a stream veteran here. Made the final table last Sunday.
Like his fleur hat, his flowers.
And I got to give Eric credit because he gave me credit. He started playing poker from watching the World Series, and like everyone else, started his own home game and get playing. And he owns a skateboard company, actually. He lives in Sacramento. Has a skateboard company. I asked him to bring one in. He says, "No, I can't really do that." They put graphics on the skateboards and kind of resell them. So they get blanks, I think, in and do graphics. So
That's cool.
very cool guy. And
So-
Dan would like him because Dan's a skateboarder and a snowboarder and all that.
How many years have you been doing the World Series of Poker now?
I can't count the years, but I started actually in 2002. That was a year before Norman joined, and it was a different production group. I started in 2002 doing it with Gabe Kaplan. Welcome back, Cotter fame.
I love Gabe.
He's terrific.
Love him.
He's very funny. And so yeah, the Norman and I have been doing it since 2003 every year.
And I
since
love
then.
Norm. I mean, I would never admit to loving him more than you.
No,
but-
it's hard and I love Norm
don't.
even before I met him, even before I started working with him. I knew who he was. He wrote a column on Fridays in the Sacramento Mercury News, syndicated football column, and he was the funniest guy in print. And I was so thrilled to be able to get to work with him.
Yeah, he's a brilliant guy.
We're gonna
so-
see a flop with 7-6 and Queen Deuce.
And well, it was limped around blind versus blind here, and like you said, this is the funnest, watching blind versus blind. But
He's
they're
got
very,
the best peg. He's got the best hand with the deuces.
very gentlemanlike.
Yeah.
They just limped, and big blind checked, and
There's
there
a
we
bet.
go.
Bet and win. So the Wolf is in first.
I actually became a fan of watching you on the World Series of Poker even before I started playing.
Did you? Why would you
Yes.
tune in? Well, it was a big time for. It was kind of a
You wanna know
we
why
were
I
in
tuned
Time
in?
magazine.
You want to know
Really?
why I tuned in? The first house I bought I was broke. I put all my money down on down payment on the home, and you know, first month you got to get insurance, you got to get all this stuff. I had like $50 left to my name, and the last owner left a satellite dish, and there was literally like 1 or 2 channels, and
really?
one of them showed poker all the time, and World Series of Poker was on there, and I watched it religiously.
Fun.
Yeah. So yeah, what better place to pick up aces than in the small blind? Let people do a little bit of raising, and
Look at Dan's got. Dan in the big blind with ace-6 suited. He likes that hand.
yeah. Act normal, act normal, act normal. And does he just call here?
Yeah. All
Oh, he
in.
went all in, instant call.
Look at
Wow,
Dan.
he
Dan.
set him up.
What a play by Daryl,
Wow.
the Wolf.
Wow, and he's laughing, all very smug. Wow, that was so great. He knew that Dan has
Dan had
probably been
anything,
doing
he was
that.
going, yeah.
Yeah, and just set him up. Just called in the small blind.
Well, Dan's got clubs. That's what he wants. No clubs. He's done.
Back door. Give him a sweat. Oh, a
Okay,
sweat.
all
A
right.
sweat.
A club. No.
Oh, no, not going to do it.
Not going to happen for Dan, the carpet man. He's been doing it for 20 years. You'll see him on his Harley right into the Stones parking lot just about every day, and he's a good guy.
He's very fun, too.
And look at the Wolf, huh?
Great dancer, Dan. You're a great dancer. Ghost of
Well done,
Man.
Dan. All right, leave. No, you have to go now, Dan. No, go. Go ahead. No, we don't want to talk to you. No post-game interviews. Thank you, Dan. No, Dan.
You're cute and funny. Please fold in the chat. Nice to see you, Dalton. I am Horror Crusher. I already said that. Ghost of M. Nice to see you, my darling. All right,
Next place for Dan.
Down to four people who enjoy torture and torment.
Four-figure payout, $12.52 for Dan. Nice job.
He's buying
He
drinks
deserves
later.
it. He deserves it.
And we're off.
Yoda under the gun with 607,000 and
No,
what was
the
it?
button is right. Actually, Yoda is in the big blind right now.
Okay. So
C
the Wolf was what 900 something thousand? Is that right? 917 or something like that.
CW Siggy says, why don't they ever use the shuffle machine? Because the RFID cards are larger than our regular cards and can't fit into the shuffle machine, and they all have microchips in them, so we can't ruin them.
Yeah, they're a little thick and you know.
I tried to eat one, I couldn't. I can eat regular cards. It was a thing. Someone ate a card at a poker table I was at, and I was wondering if they should get kicked out of the casino.
I
Have
do
you seen
not believe that. I mean, I totally think that's true.
Have you seen anyone do that? I saw a guy actually flip out and eat a card.
Oh,
And
817 for the Wolf. Sorry.
So I like tweeted every single poker, rule maker out there and asked, hey, are you out of the game if you eat a card? What happens if you eat a card?
Could
Are
be.
you kicked out of the casino? What happens if you're in the World Series of Poker?
Well, it happened actually at an earlier event before the main event.
Someone ate a card?
No, he did. He did likewise. He tore it up and threw it at the dealer. And he was apparently banned for life. And somehow he made day 7 at the main event.
Lifted the ban. You have to get a good lawyer.
You got to know the right people. All right, Shane. Small blind, pocket pair. Yoda next to him with ace, king. Pocket pair for Eric. 5-4 for the big stack. Here's the big stack. Give it an up under the gun. Oh no, Eric was under the gun. Okay. See, if I knew how to read these things, this would go so much better.
Well, the first few months Jake and I were in here, it was just almost a disaster because
No, it was a disaster.
If you're not
I was
used
watching.
to,
It was a complete disaster. I mean, I can't.
Thanks, Lon. I appreciate it. So look at Shane here with pocket eights, putting in a raise, and Yoda's licking his chops.
Well, yeah, he had ace king apparently fail him, but then he
You can't give up on ace king.
he didn't. He made a big bet and he got the best hand to fold.
104 to call. The big blind is 16,000 right now. It's
So it's a min raise from Eric.
Yeah.
With pocket fours.
So this is a 3-bet.
That's
Wow.
That's a big 3-bet.
not only is it a big 3-bet, but Yoda has position on him and folded that ace king.
That was very surprising.
I could see Yoda shoving
I don't know why
there,
he could have finished
or-
the tournament right now.
I guess not shoving, but putting in a massive 4-bet. I think for Yoda it was a 4-bet or fold.
Yeah.
And he folded. He doesn't want to be squished.
No,
in
you don't
between
want to.
these
Right.
two.
He was feeling squeezed, absolutely. And fine, fine to fold.
I don't mind being the cream and in the Oreo cookie.
No,
But-
you're okay with that?
Yeah.
Well, the 4s went away, and
I-
Shane had twice the hand as Eric, so he'll win. Good play.
I think had Eric just limped there, it would have turned out completely different. I think Yoda would have turned on the aggression.
So Eric Brockman, our skateboard man, is the short stack right now.
I feel, a little intimidated in here. I feel like I need to bring the Norman Chad jokes because that's what you're used to. But, I figure I'll just stay Veronica.
This is a different world.
It's a different world.
This is the
Don't be Jake.
Stones
Don't be my Jake.
world, and that's the World Series world. This is the Stones world. We'll have our own
You
thing.
guys, I have to say, even when I didn't know poker, amazing to watch because you guys are both very clever and play off each other well. I love that. about
And
the
don't
show.
discount the part where she said, I have to say, because I did tell her she had to say that.
Give me my $5.
All right, the Wolf with a pocket pair. He's got the big stack. He's under the gun. And look, four-handed. Again, a pair is so huge, but he's not even the favorite.
You're talking about pocket threes is not the favorite?
Right.
Eric has one of his outs. Eric's got a 3, so...
That really makes a big impression on
Drawing
the
the
odds that you can have. He has the best
Yeah.
hand, of course, and that's what those percentages are. Is the percentage they're going to win the hand at this point. It's not what is the best hand.
You know
at
what's
the moment.
happening right now, and I always do this on Stones. Behold the chip stack of Eric. No, of the Wolf.
The Wolf.
Oh,
The
I was
Wolf.
gonna
Here we
say
go.
there.
Daryl.
Behold.
Daryl is his name. Yeah.
When you
the
got
Wolf.
that big chip stack, it's intimidating to other players.
We might make that play tonight. By the way, this is going pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Don't ignore the chat. Talk to people.
Oh, okay. N2 cards 88. Now we're folding AK pre. LOL. I think he folded
Right.
AK pre. Honestly, devil's advocate here. I think he folded it because of the raise and the 3-bet in front of him, and he was thinking he was facing a lot stronger cards than he was.
People are going to lambaste you for doing that, and that's fine. They're gonna lambaste you for any move you make. Ace King, yeah, it's Ace King, but it's also just Ace King, and that is the word.
Don't say that. Don't. This is dogma here.
I know.
Ace King is the best. I mean, you have to pick and choose your battles. I
Are
think
we
that.
boring you, Shane? Daryl?
I know. I keep messing up there. The Wolf.
Sorry, I interrupted you. I just had
No, you're fine.
to comment on the
It's like
yawn.
we're married. Except you're still listening to me,
I am
unlike
listening.
my husband.
No, just in this here. I got the debate over here.
Huge.
Huge.
We're gonna build
I know
the
a lot of
wall.
words. I know
Huge.
good words. I know good words.
See, I mean,
No, we're not going there.
I-
We're going to talk about poker.
okay. I
Suited
mean,
queen.
I have a good impression.
I know. It's just not the night for it, I don't think. I don't know.
Shut down by Lon McEachern.
All right, let's see what happens. Now, he likes ace 10 because there's nobody on his left.
Graphics are catching up to the play here.
Those people work so hard, and they get so little credit. The people who put the show together, this is a big deal. You come in here, and they're always fixing something because poker players have probably broken something.
What? They don't get credit. They're like always hustling me down in the parking lot asking for like 50% of my pay. 2 a flop, 3, 5, 8,
No ace.
rainbow.
Or the queen went away. Pre-flop.
No one, nothing for no one.
Queen
So
folded.
check. 4 of diamonds on the turn.
All right, so there's an open ender for Shane.
Check,
Ah,
6.
pair of sixes on the river. Another diamond.
Shane knows that I mean, it's been checked around. He's probably not going to get any value out of a worse hand. Checking that 6, I think, is fine.
And that's what poker players mean when I'm only going to get called by better. Why should I bet?
Exactly. Yeah. A queen will for sure call you, and a flush will call you. A flush will raise you, and then you're like, oh, well, I had showdown value.
So it's amazing how quickly, even though these guys have been playing in this tournament all day, they haven't necessarily been playing at the same table all day. They may have, if that's the way the draw was, but I asked them, and they said they haven't really been butting heads with a lot of guys. But it's amazing how quickly you can pick up tendencies of opponents, and who's the scary one, who's the one that's going to get attacked. Out of table that is so short. I mean, you really are bearing your soul so quickly in these types of events.
You know what I find interesting about Yoda especially is that he plays the same way in cash games. The aggression is on in cash games. And cash games you can kind of wait around, the blinds aren't going up. I see a lot of people change their game, get a little more relaxed. The aggression factor is high with him, and looks like Shane's putting in a raise in the big blind. And the wolf was just limping. Was it the wolf that was the initial? I'm waiting for the graphics to catch up. The camera was off the wolf. Yeah. So Eric raised to 46.
6-8's pretty.
T-Dub 5150. You can watch it.
You like 6-10 here?
Yeah, I do. Open-ended. Sorry, you've got it straight.
Got the straight, yeah.
Sorry. I was looking at the chat. You can watch the stream while you're at the table. Correct. You can.
Yeah, but you're on a delay, and that's fine. And that's is it 20 now? 20 minutes today, or 25?
I believe it's 20 minutes today.
I think it's 20-minute delay.
Colorado B, is this really live? Come on, honey. Honey, baby, we know it's live.
Type a text and she'll answer you within a minute.
Yeah, so we're live. Lon and I are live. The Lon McEachern. The players are on a 20-minute delay.
So what happens is we're watching the stream as you watch it there at home or in your brother-in-law's couch, and so we are seeing what you're seeing and we're commenting as we see it, because if we said what we're saying while it's happening live, the players could hear us and then they know what's going on, and the gaming commission comes, shuts us down, and she's out of a job, then I go back to my day job at ESPN.
Yeah, your job's not that bad.
But yes, there's actually a monitor in the room. They can look and see. They can watch it on their tablet, as the Wolf is right now, I believe. And as long as it's a level playing field, everybody has a chance to see what everybody else had 20 minutes ago. It's become part of poker, and it's very normal now. And
Mustak is trolling us, asking if this is real. No, we're tuning in from a parallel universe. So kind of real.
Like that TV show you were telling me about.
Parallels, yeah. Very good TV show that got canceled. But I like weird stuff, Twin Peaks and all that stuff.
I can't believe they're doing a third season, you said?
I mean, I read about it online. Everything you read online is
true.
It's true
then. This I love.
The Stones app.
The new app.
Get it while the getting's good, ladies and gentlemen.
And there's only unlimited numbers available.
And there's I guess some good screenshots of you on our app.
Really?
No, I'm just
Finally.
joking. I don't know.
Finally. All right, I was trying to hack it the other day. Maybe I was successful. I don't know. But yeah, you can get your name on the cash game list from anywhere now. If you're the woman watching in Hawaii, get your name on a cash game list for Tuesday at 6 p.m.
Oh,
when your flight lands.
Kathy's probably getting nervous twitches from not playing in Stones for the last 3 weeks. She's been in Hawaii with her parents. She's been on my live stream several times, Veronica and Friends.
Look who's raking chips. I want Wolf to go over 1 million. I remember the first time I was in a tournament and went over 1 million chips. I was so excited.
Mustak wants to know, how long does it take for you to do commentary for the World Series of Poker?
Well, there's a long process, as I was talking about earlier, because it's all produced. So the editors are taking several weeks to get the shows done in a form where we can look at them ahead of time. And then once I get them, I usually get a show a day for 4 days in a row, and I end up with 4 completed shows. And so that takes me a day or more for each show, and then we convene all the people who need to be in Studio City, California, and we voice 2 shows per day.
How excited are you for that final table now?
I love doing the final table.
Yeah.
It is such a different dynamic doing live
It's-
poker, as you see. But working with who I'm working with Norman and with Antonio Svandiari and Daniel Negreanu and
It's like
Harris
an
Scott
NFL
and Phil
game.
Hellmuth.
It's like the
and-
Super Bowl.
Oh my gosh, it
huge.
is the Super Bowl of poker. But we can't say Super Bowl because
Oh, while you're there.
the big game people have that all locked up.
They're a non-profit, by the way. Isn't that
Yeah.
interesting?
Are you ready for me now?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't hear anything. I heard somebody sound like Dan. Congratulations.
You did great. Thank
We knew you were going to shove.
Thank you for your appearance.
I knew he had a big hand, but I was hoping he didn't have
He didn't have aces, yeah. You hoping to have a foldable hand? I'm
All
talking
right.
to Dan, the carpet man.
We got a limp pot, and Shane
Take it.
flops a pair. King 9-8 checked around. Now Shane's got a pair and a inside straight draw, and the wolf now is open ended. Sorry, he has a straight.
He has a straight. He has a nine-high straight.
I'm having one of these days.
You were distracted. And nobody even has near an ace. They're all 8 gap to the ace.
And the wolf continues. And you gotta think,
Look at
is my
this. It's
8
amazing.
good here?
I mean, this is not uncommon, again, for new people to see, somebody run hotter than the sun and just keep winning every pot. And then if you're Shane, you just don't believe him. They're just going to win every pot, and he's ahead,
thing
and
is-
he's got it.
Almost everything beats you on this board. Almost everything.
Yeah, what do you? Yeah, exactly. What do you think you can beat? Nothing.
Yeah.
You can beat a bluff. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to show? He
And
wants to
definitely-
show. He wants to
If
show.
that ace didn't come on the river, might have been easier to call, because then it's something like an ace-jack, ace, like a weak ace, he might
Yeah, that
continue with the
killed.
bluff.
Yeah, definitely.
That killed action,
Yeah, aces do that. Aces are good and they're bad. They help and they hurt.
They give it, and they take it.
away. Wow.
We did that really well. Lon just high-fived me.
That was not my real
I'm,
hand.
I'm sitting here actually a little smug.
That was
A
my
little
stunt
happy.
hand. I've got a stunt hand over here doing that. So.
That would be so creepy.
So another hand come out of.
Lon doesn't want to touch me, so he brings out his plastic hand. Back to the action.
Suited cards are good.
Shane just calls. Looks like Yoda checks. Almost everybody's in this pot. Oh no, sorry, just blinds.
I
Small
hate
blind,
paired boards.
small blind in the button.
Paired boards bring dark, foreboding
Okay,
clouds.
our graphics are a little bit behind because I see there are 3 in this pot, and I only see 2.
No, we're down to
See,
2.
no. There's the button, and there's 2 people with cards there.
Ah, you're right.
So we didn't see Yoda's cards. Shield Knob says hilarious. Hilarious.
Look who's
I
pulling
know,
chips
I
in. All right, getting there, getting to $1 million. Go Wolf, go Wolf. See, what do I know about the Wolf? Let's check it out. Kelly Blue Book plays 2-5, 5-10 cash.
His skin looks like butter.
He's happy. He's to the left of seat 4, who's gone now. Will gave him a troublesome time, he said. 36 years old. It was in 06 where he won the big money at Harvey's for 70 grand and turned it into 700 simoleons.
Shield Knob, you just have to get used to me renaming everybody. That's just what I do. Welcome to the game.
Yeah, we it's a blanket apology to Joe Henson, aka Joda. I'm sorry, he is now Yoda. It's going to be Yoda because I'm just following her lead.
That's what I do.
She's the boss.
2 to a flop.
Jacks, you hit a jack tonight unless you have pocket jacks. Jacks are okay unless you have pocket jacks. Then
A jack
you get
3
crushed.
is money. That's what you're telling us. Go with it all the way if you've got a jack 3 tonight. And
Well, look, the 3 dominates the deuce. That's all you got to worry about, right?
so Shane on the button is leading out here, and Eric's just gonna let it go. And they want to know if you're still playing at Turlock.
And Turlock, I've been playing in Turlock for a long time. The folks down there, Joe Fernandez, I think it is, welcomed me, and when I was hanging out with the Deep Stack poker guys before they got bought by WPT, and they were very nice to me. They welcomed me, and Mario, the floor guy down there, was very nice to me, and I loved playing there. There was some, man, that was the first time. I didn't play a lot of cash, but I sat down at the small game. I could not believe the stacks. I could not believe the action down there, and it was amazing. It really opened my eyes, and I'm really thankful to Turlock who invited me down there a lot. And
I want to get in that game.
I had a poster up there. I mean, I had a poster the same size as Mike Matisow up there at Turlock, 24/7. I would just drive down once in a while. It's an hour, and just look at it, and then I go home. Just go look at the poster and go, Mike Matisow, and I'm still in poker. But no, they were very nice to me down there, and Turlock had a good room as well, and so I enjoyed all the folks down there. Thank you very much, Turlock. But I haven't been back in a while.
Yoda was open-ended, C-bets, and Scoops did. And now they're
What
on
happened?
break.
Did Wolf drop below 900,000? Million.
Now they're going to be on break, I believe. And
Now we have to do our thing. Do we do the 10-minute stand-up now, or?
Did you bring your juggling apparatus?
No, I didn't.
No? Okay, so then we'll probably just take a 10-minute break, and Bart Hansen will show the people some
Everything
of
they
the
don't
hands
know.
of the night. And we will be back in less than 10 minutes, in 8 minutes and 32 seconds.
Yeah.
Is that right, Bob? Are we on break too?
Yay!
Yay! See you guys soon.
Hey everybody, welcome to another Stones Live Poker Hand of the Week. We're going to take a hand from a 10-25 game with a 50, and this hand has a double straddle on it, so 10-25-50. It gets folded around here to Nat, who's been playing pretty wild, and he's going to open for 250, 2.5 times the double straddle, and JC Tran is going to defend the double straddle spot with King 8 of clubs. We can't see what Nat has right now, but we can see that JC has flopped top pair. This one goes quickly check, check. So now JC is going to take the lead here on the turn. He bets $325 here on this wet board, and Nat doesn't think about it for too long, and he's going to make the call here. So you start to think about what types of hands would raise pre-flop, check back the flop, and then call the turn. River's got to be one of the worst cards here for JC. It's the ace of diamonds, so a hand like ace-jack, ace-10, make a pair of aces. Nat might have a hand like ace-queen that could have been checked back. He's going to think about it for a little bit, and he's going to bet about $750 here into a $1,200 pot. So it gets back around to JC, and you can see the discomfort here in his seat. He's getting about 2.5 to 1, and Nat has played pretty wild. So he is eventually going to come to the conclusion that this is a profitable call. He puts the money in, and Nat turns over ace-9 for rivered aces up and wins a big, big pot. Check out Stones Live Poker on Monday and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific Time. And this weekend, the 24th through the 26th, Stones Live Poker will be streaming the final tables of the $250,000 Fall Classic. I'll be there on Saturday the 24th, announcing the Monster Stack final table. On Sunday the 25th, David Tuckman will be announcing the Classic Deep Stack final table, culminating on Monday the 26th, the 6 Max final table with Lon McEachern. It will all be at twitch.tv/Stones Live Poker. Hey everybody, welcome to another Stones Live Hand of the Week. and we're going to get into a pot here at 10:25. This game was playing with the straddle, and JC Tran right here was in the straddle. Nate raises here to 160 pre-flop. Brian calls in the big blind, and JC Tran calls in the straddle. Both the blind and the straddle flop flush draws, but it gets checked over to Nate, and he does not bet his deuce. The turn here is the king of spades, and you can see here Brian with the top pair and the nut flush draw, but JC Tran with a huge draw, queen high flush draw, and a gut shot to a jack. He just calls the turn bet here by Brian, however, does not raise on the com, rivers the four of hearts, and both players make a flush. Brian with the nut flush, ace-5 of hearts. JC Tran, he's got the queen-high flush. Now, Brian's going to make kind of a small bet here at the end, about $425 into $1,100, and JC Tran is going to raise it up here. He is going to make it $1,300, and you've got to love this spot if you're Brian, staring at the nuts, and a guy has raised you on the river. He's going to put a little bit of a Hollywood act for about a minute on, and then he finally moves all in. JC feels like he's pot committed, I guess, and he makes the call, and Brian wins a huge pot in this 10-25-50 game. If you want to check out live cash games, watch Stones Live Poker every Monday and Wednesday at 7:30 Pacific Time over at twitch.tv/Stones Live Poker. Welcome everybody to another Stones Live Poker Hand of the Week, and we are going to take a look at one of the deepest 1-3 no-limit games you have ever seen. Up at Stones, they do Match the Big Stack, and we have several people with over $1,000 here at the table. Kathy, who is in the straddle in this spot, is lucky enough to pick up kings, but she is just going to flat call L8-8's raise pre-flop. She does not 3-bet, and that's going to bring Frank along here behind, and they're going to see it multi-way to the flop. Wow, you flat with pocket kings, and you get top set on a board that's just not that draw heavy. L8 is going to make a continuation bet, but Kathy figures there's no reason really for her to raise. She's just going to flat call, but that's going to bring Frank behind in the pot with a gut shot wheel draw. The turn comes off a deuce, and Kathy now gets checked to by L8, and she's not going to slow play now. She's going to bet, build herself up a little bit of a pot, but she bets really tiny. She bets 90, and Frank is going to continue to come along here as well. You can see L8-8 releases his pocket tens. We move to the river, and what a crazy river it is. It's an ace. It gives Frank aces up, but it's got to be really scary here for Kathy. But give her credit, she is not scared, and she is going to make a small type of value bet here to try to get looked up here by two pair, aces up, and you can see that Frank calls her immediately, and she wins a big pot. Check out Stones Live Poker every Monday and Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Time over at twitch.tv/Stones Live Poker.
everybody. Welcome back to Stone's Classic
So
Six
soon.
Mac. Six Mac's final table. My name is Veronica Brill. With me is the Lon McEachern. And
Glad to be here.
We are here to bring you joy and happiness in this aggro Six Mac's final table. We are down to 4 players.
4 Max, even more aggro.
It's not 4, it's 4 Max, yeah. You can't wait around forever. The plaques are out, the tiles are out. Isn't it beautiful? We can see Jimmy got 6th place. We can see that scrolling at the bottom of our screen. Plastica joined us. I was talking about you earlier. I knew you'd join us. I knew you would.
Plaques. I had a plaque the other day in the tournament. I had 1 plaque.
Aren't they fun?
25K they're worth.
Aren't they fun? I feel like we're the only Northern California casino that has them.
It's like so European.
It's like so amazing, so in vogue, you know.
Plaque with a Q. I mean, any word with a Q, you go with, right? You run with it.
In Canada, we say check with a Q, QU.
Right. Yeah.
It's just more fancy with a Q.
Checks. My checks.
Check.
Yes. So I wonder if it would still work with the old Doyle Brunson quote: "The person who invented poker was very smart, but the person who invented chips was a genius." But if you said checks was a genius, and you know, still a lot of people don't know what the word checks means. Chips.
Really?
And there's some there are card rooms that say, we need checks, and they said checks. Yeah, they call them chips.
Oh, okay,
Checks
cool.
or chips. With a Q, I think.
All right, we've got an all-in. No waiting around.
Oh, skateboard man.
No love, no action.
Eric Brockman.
We can't see what he had, but I'm sure it was jacks.
There we go.
That's what I'm guessing.
Ace 5
Okay.
of Spados.
Spados, I like it.
It's a swimming term. Oh, look, the Wolf
Valerie
has
has
twice a stack that he had before.
Valerie has her own saying suitored, something suited. Suitor.
I heard suitored the other day, yeah.
Well, she's from Virginia. I mean, you can't blame her. It's her Virginia coming
What,
out.
because you can't read?
Ah!
Oh, that's West Virginia, sorry.
Oh,
Making
shots
love
fired.
for every state in the nation. All right, so anyway, let's
The
go over.
Wolf.
We had a 7th place finisher was Will. Will finished 7th, knocked out by Dan. 6th place was Jimmy Lee, 28 years old, out of San Francisco. He finished in 6th place, and in 5th place was our friend Dan McGee, Dan the Carpet Man. 5th place, he got played basically. You know,
Yeah.
small blind with aces, limp. He had ace 6, I think it was, suited. He shoved, and end of story.
Eric all in here with Queen Jack. The Wolf put in the initial raise. Blinds are 10,000, 20,000 now with a $3,000 ante. You got to make a move. Average stack is 500, almost 560K. So all in for 257.
14 big blinds.
Yeah. You got to make a move. You got to think the Wolf is just putting in a raise here, probably with a mediocre hand. The longer he takes, the more Eric has to feel good.
Right. Which is the truth with everything.
It's not a huge all-in. He doesn't have that many chips, but it's still enough to start to cripple his stack. If you start doubling up a bunch of small stacks,
Body language is not loving this, though. Not loving it.
he doesn't know he's ahead.
He's
But
thinking ace. You think you default to ace, right?
you always want to be live. I think that's one thing I always consider when I have a hand like this. You don't want to be against an ace-king.
He called.
Oh, wow. A call.
So we need an ace, and they share the straight and chop pot. Is that right? No, it's not. It's King Jack, Queen Jack. Straight draw on its own. Never mind.
You're here because you're cute. Don't worry about
Queen 10.
Whoa.
Eric gets the queen. Slow down, dealer. The Wolf needs
the rest. Ace on the river.
Ace, queen,
Does
no jack.
nothing. Eric.
Yeah, how about that?
Eric
with the
doubles
double.
up. And again, like I said, it's hard when you start doubling up short stacks. I mean, it's not a huge stack, but if he does this, a couple more times, he's going to be crippled.
And if Eric could do it a couple times.
And if Eric can do it a couple times, he will start to take the lead here. So we see the Wolf twice there, apparently.
I think he's got the 716. He had 973 was his high point, and that's just a graphic glitch. So, but yeah, I had him. He was over 900. He was so close to my million chip mark, and now he's really disappointing me. And
You're obviously bad luck.
I'm off the Wolf bandwagon now. I mean, forget it.
Yeah, forget it.
Not
Let
root
him
for
go.
him. I'm gonna root for Shane
On
now.
to the next one.
Shane in seat 1 is under the gun, right?
Yes, he is.
There he's in the yellow. Shane Pearson, 45, lives here in Citrus Heights, just across the road there. Self-employed general contractor. 2 general contractors at this final table, by the way.
See,
And
correlation equals causation. You
Exactly.
know?
And he's a pro bass fisherman. He won a bass boat fishing, Shane did.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
I used to live in Del Rio, Texas, where they did lots of professional bass fishing
Axe and
competitions.
play, all in.
So again,
look at this. Got a
more
hand.
pressure now. All in.
Pocket sixes. How can he get away from this?
Yoda only has 353K. So Yoda's still under average, which is I actually was thinking Yoda had
That
a
was
little
his
bit more.
chance. That was his chance. So the last payout was 1252. You see, first place is worth over 4,700, and so the next person to go out will win 1,520 US dollars.
And if you look on your screen, you can see we started out with 149 players, down to 4. Total chips in play 2.2, just over 2.2 million. So, you know, this is typical for a tournament where you're just not playing deep once you get to the final table. You're not sitting with 40 big blinds.
I mean, that's just the way it has to be. You know, I mean, if you're going to run a one-day tournament and it's going to have as strong a structure as you can have, which they're doing here, you're going to be kind of shallow even when you have a lot of chips with 4 or 5 tables left. It's just the way it plays out. And there's enough play.
Oh, well, we do this because we can't afford you for 7 days.
Well, that is very true. That is very true. It's amazing.
ESPN pays that.
I mean, I'm only good, you know, for another level and a half. And
Yeah,
then
and
the
then
meter
we've
is
run out.
running. Eric
So
with ace king again.
Eric puts in a race to 60K on the button. Shane is constantly being
folding.
raised. He is folding.
He's been beat up on both sides.
He's been beat up on both sides. He is Tina Turner tonight, and everyone else is Ike. And that's what's happening. I'm trying to pull out my Norman Chad material. I can do it. I mean, a lot better if it was post-production.
Yeah, well, no, you can think about it. Absolutely. Live is tough.
I need time to think.
Live is tough.
Come
No,
on.
I'm much better when I know what happened and I had 4 months to write it.
I can't even imagine how amazing it would be to do commentary on the event of poker, the Super Bowl of poker. I mean, it's
you know,
just,
I go like now I can think about it. In December, I think about it, but when I'm in mode, you know, I can't think about it because it's very intimidating. Yeah, I would lock up and then not be able to say a word.
None of us would have it any other way than to have you and Norman there. You know what I mean? It's like poker grew up with you. So it's
Nice.
awesome. It's an awesome
We
thing.
were right on his coattails. I mean, you know, that's what was nice. We rode the wave and we've enjoyed it, and we love being part of it and being his. You know,
I'll get your autograph once you get in the Poker Hall of Fame, because then it'll be worth more.
it'll be worth more. Yeah.
And I could sell it on eBay
Yeah.
for a little more when I go broke next time
then
playing Veronica and Friends.
Not last time.
Not
All
any
right.
of them, just to
All
clarify
right,
the record.
King was raised by the pocket nines. The wolf with a hand. Yoda with a
And
hand.
Yoda shoves here. Yoda shoves here, and I don't mind it. And I think he got insta-called because he
He
fulfilled
would,
the
yeah.
cards.
Ah. I have an all-in and a call, and yes, she's cuter than Norman.
Give me the
Oh, there's a
time.
king and the flop. There's a 7. Need a 9, need a 9, need a 9. No 9.
So we have
Oh, Yoda doubles through the wolf.
Yoda doubles through. We have fans bringing this up. Well, I mean, they pointed it at me.
Yeah, I need to hold that, by the way.
But I mean, the arrow still is going the wrong way. But yeah,
Not now.
she's cuter than Norman. I'm getting some credit here. My jokes may not be as good,
They're throwing notes over the
but
wall that separates us
I'll
from
take
the
anything right
plebeians.
now. I'll take anything. I'm not picky. You know, if
Wow.
you don't have a prime rib steak, I will take spring rolls.
These guys flopped,
Huge.
flip-flopped chip stacks, basically.
Yeah.
You're going 716,000 for Yoda and 330 now
So-
for the wolf.
We've watched the wolf now double up 2 people. Was I not talking about this?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. when we were barely
I'm
paying
right.
attention.
I like being right. Lon McEachern said I'm right twice now.
I'm just going to
tonight.
say you're right. I don't know. I'll pay attention to what you say.
So he's doubled up 2 players, and now he's essentially going to be crippled here. He's less than average.
He's well, if that is a true count, 330, yeah. You're looking at 15, 16 big blinds.
You know, I don't want to say anything, but he's one of the tournament.
Just whispered to me. What?
He's a tournament director at Thunder Valley, and he comes here and he likes.
There's a lot of guys too.
Yeah, they're
a guy whose
they're
name is not
cheating.
Miguel comes here too.
They're cheating on their home casinos because they like stones. And obviously we have Lon McEachern. Come on. The Lon McEachern.
All right, here we go. Here it is. So the Wolf, now the short stack, again, 16 big blinds. Was I right? Was I right?
Yeah. No, I was right. No, but it's really tough when you get in these situations because you have to make some moves, and then unfortunately, if the cards don't go your way, this is how you win or lose.
But he's still in it. I mean, look, that he's right in the spot where Yoda was a moment ago, and who knows?
He looks very depressed, does he not? He looks like...
He is. Look at his shoulders. It's like he's got no shoulders.
His dog died.
His shoulders are
his
gone.
wife left him.
He's
His farm
shoulderless.
burnt down.
His sans shoulder.
Yeah.
He was without shoulder. All right, so the Wolf folded the king. And it's, okay, limped around. Check your option.
King Jack 3 on the flop, 3 hearts.
I think the Wolf folded a king. He might have been King Trey. Was that our King Deuce? Oh my God.
This is really going to slow
All
down
hearts.
option.
Oh, come on, another heart. Just let them have their money back. 6 for Eric. Eric is the man of the hour.
Yoda's got an 8 though, and
but he's
no one's got a heart.
I didn't see the 8.
See, it's not easy. I'm not
That's
the
why
only
we need
one.
2 people.
Yeah.
I was looking at the heart.
Woman writer said, Veronica, this is not a country song, but the look on his face. All my exes live in Texas.
I like Woman Rider. She's nice. And
let me tell you, Woman Writer is a very brilliant girl.
I know.
She
tells me that all the time.
No, she's a lawyer.
She does not.
She's a lawyer, and I've spoken to her off the stream, and she's like very, very brilliant. Very nice to talk to. If you're ever in jail and you're a Twitch fan, she's here for you.
She's a defense attorney? Criminal?
No, she's not a criminal defense attorney. She works in analytics, actually, but... Sorry, I'm like telling your whole life, Plastica. Or Woman Writer, sorry. Woman Writer is Plastica's wife. I just got that mixed up. Plastica is the attorney. Anyway, they're both lovely gals.
Under the gun with deuces. Shane, gotta make a play here.
Shane raises to 40, and I feel like this is one of the first times that Yoda's folded to Shane's raise. You know, I feel like Yoda's always his thorn in his side.
Whipping post, yeah.
Whipping post, I like it.
Nobody's got any of that.
You gotta hate that flop when you're Shane.
I mean, he's got a straight draw, but nobody paired up. Yeah.
The Wolf checked to him, and now look at the Wolf defeated.
Yeah.
You can just tell.
It's like, oh, I'm on my dry spell.
Yeah,
Never mind. But he had Broadway draw.
His body image
Never hit
just
the
says
queen.
it all.
They'll probably fold the queens. There's no queens left. I just can't play poker anymore. I'm going to quit. That's what you feel like. And look at him. He's just sitting there going, why me? But you're 1 of 4 left. Come on. Come on,
Suck it out, Buttercup.
Buck up.
Get in the game. We're
Not over.
What's a football reference? We're in the 4th quarter and we're down by a touchdown. Let's do this.
That would be one thing, yeah,
Yep,
sure.
let's do
Win
it.
one for the Gipper.
All in.
Oh, he says all in. I'm thinking 7s or ace queen.
Weak ace. I will go with the weak ace. Because anything goes right now.
Ace 7. That is the definition of a
Get out
weak
the
ace.
plastic arm, Lon. Get out the plastic arm.
Right, there we go.
If we can just get you saying suitored, tonight's good.
We need to buy Suitor, don't we? Do we have to rent Suitor, or can we just say it for free?
We can say for free because Val has...
Up to 6 times, or what?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then after that, you gotta pay.
And then we get the Woman Rider and Plastica to come sue our asses, butts.
the
Queens.
combo.
Yoda. J-O-D-A.
I like it. He knows.
Wolf's all in.
Yoda's got ace or queens.
Comes
sorry.
it all in on a call.
Yeah. I like
Finish
what
him
he
off.
did, but it was just bad timing.
Gonna finish him off.
He can spike an ace. Come on. Let's not be the Grim Reaper.
Well, a lot of
just yet.
aces out there. Oh. There's a straight
Yeah,
draw
and
for the
then-
queens.
Yeah.
No diamonds on his board. 5, not enough. And we lose the wolf, who was our chip leader. I had him right on the precipice of $1 million, and look what happens in poker.
And this is what happens. You double up a couple short
Your
squares
stack
and
is
you're-
up here, and then it goes down here.
Oh, that tickled.
That's what your leg's there, isn't it? Sorry. All right,
So-
Daryl finishes in 4th.
Down to 3, and actually, you know, I'm not surprised seeing Yoda as chip leader right now. 1.2 million. He's
Finally.
got half the chips in play. I'm not surprised because he has, I think, from what I've seen, been the most aggressive, and he's a very aggressive player. He's not afraid to ship the chips in. He's not afraid to. He picks his spots really well.
Second knockout for Joda. He
Yeah.
knocked out Jimmy Lee in 6th place. So 2 knockouts for him. Jimmy Lee.
No, I meant Yoda. Yoda.
Yoda. Sorry, Yoda. Did I say Yoda?
I'm
Sorry.
just giving you a hard time.
No, we should not say.
I know you like it though. So, Shane,
Queens!
yes.
Queen just scored the win.
Unfortunately, I mean, Eric in the big blind with a suited ace, suited, he's gotta like it. It's a very strong hand, three-way.
Depends how much Shane wants to make. Shane wants to get value for the queens, but he doesn't want to let some hand in that's going to beat him. So what do you do, right? It's a tough
Well,
one.
I mean, only thing that's gonna beat you, I mean, pre-flop
40K.
kings and aces, they're not going anywhere.
That's so he made it 3x, right?
Yeah, I like it. I
That's
like
fine.
it.
That's a standard. Come on, you got to call though, Eric.
You have to call here. Yeah.
All right. With the clubbies, he may not call if it's offsuit, and it's all hearts. And Shane has the only heart.
Yeah, so Shane has a backdoor heart draw, checked around.
Check.
Shane has to think he's good on the turn here.
I think Shane's got a bet.
Checked, yeah, and now Shane's betting.
60 or 80?
Is he? The thing is, when you're betting, can you get worse to call or
I mean, he didn't love the
better
king.
to fold?
He doesn't love the king.
King
obviously.
probably wouldn't fold.
Like the king or the heart. Well, he's okay with the hearts.
If an ace of hearts, he wants an ace of heart draw to call.
All right, Shane took it down.
Yeah.
It's a good pot, over 200 with his final bets, but he didn't get a huge amount from Eric, but he got a couple streets of value there.
My daddy, welcome to the chat. Yes. Pink wig. I mean, it's real.
Yes, they're real. Yeah. It was real at some point. We're not going to say what is real.
What is real? Are we in a parallel universe?
I'm sure we are. All right, three-handed from a field of 149, but you know that because it's on your computer screen or Apple TV. My sister watched me the other night playing on your game on Apple TV.
Did she see your placeholder?
Oh yeah, all my brother in Colombia saw it. My sister in Nevada saw it, and my other sister in Petaluma saw it. I
And
shouted
did
out
they
to all
enjoy
of
the
them.
stream?
They loved it. Yeah, they had a ball. My brother in Colombia, visiting Colombia, he had to go to bed early, so they had.
Athena
he
had
class.
her way with you a little bit.
I got her back though.
Yeah. But I liked the back and forth with you and Athena.
Yeah, that was fun. She flopped
check.
quads on me.
Yes. No, she turned quads on you. Sorry, no.
No, she
did
flopped.
flop. Oh,
Seven,
yeah.
seven, seven.
And you turned an ace.
I turned
And
the
you had
ace.
aces
I had
full,
the ace. Yeah.
Or sorry, sevens full. You had sevens full.
Yeah.
Either way, great. It was such a fun game.
Shane
know.
open-ended here. There's the king high still best.
Yeah, I think he folded. I don't see cards in front of him.
Even stacks.
Okay, yeah.
He's got
Yeah,
them.
I think
There we
we're
go.
on a new hand here.
Oh, are we behind?
Yeah, the graphics are behind.
Okay.
It happens sometimes. Live TV.
Congratulations, Eric. You won the hand that we're not watching.
Plastica, that's like the perfect way to describe that. Athena on a heater and then blew up in flames.
Oh, very nice.
I mean,
did that.
it's Veronica and Friends and it's Wine Wednesday. Someone's going to blow up in flames.
If you don't get in this game before you leave town, you are a laisseur. You got to be in that third Wednesday game with Veronica.
It is a fun game, and I try to make different themes. And this October is going to be Gamblers. The Gamblers. Athena's invited again.
I will sit this one out.
I'm going to invite all the crazy people that come on the stream. Usually get one or two crazies. They're all going to be at the same table.
You should do instead of a maximum buy-in, you should do a minimum buy-in.
Well, I mean, it's a 1-3, but I would love to have no max, but then it would kind of be a little too bananas. Because then Nat would show up with like 100,000.
It'd be like a 1, 3, 12, 50, 100 game.
Yeah. Quadruple straddle.
Look at this. Trays against queens.
Yoda's putting in a race here. Eric has queens. He's shoving all in.
Wow.
Our graphics kind of...
Did Eric call? Yes.
Sorry, Eric went all in.
Eric
Yoda just raised.
Well, he saw Dan make it with trays before he got knocked out by aces.
Our graphics are a little behind. I wanted to see if this shove all in was a little crazy.
So it was a 40 originally. Is that a min? Or is that the big? That's a small blind. So he just called with
I think
with
he just
threes.
completed, yeah.
And then Eric raised, and Yoda, who threw away ace king, much to the chagrin of the chat room, folds the trays.
I don't think that was a bad fold with ace king with.
I'm just saying. I agree.
Yeah.
We went over that, but yeah, I'm just
being the cream and the cookie. I don't mind being cream and cookie though.
No.
We went over that too.
And we'll keep our license for at least one more week.
Yeah, I mean, I get pulled in the back every week. I know that you're used to.
And then I'll move on.
I was just saying I get in trouble every week.
Get in trouble? Oh, you get in trouble every week.
Yeah, I get pulled in the back and get in trouble.
Got it.
Veronica, you can't say that
You can't
stuff.
say that again.
Again, for the 20th
So they should tell you before you go on everything you can't say.
Well, they have a
and
list.
And you would never know. Do they?
And then I pretend I never got the email. So it's not my fault.
That did not work for, who was it? Oh, that was Maria Sharapova, the tennis pro, who was on suspension. And the tennis world sent out a list of drugs that players could not be on anymore, medical, new banned drugs. Mm-hmm. And she was currently taking one of them, and she then got suspended for a year, and she claimed, I didn't read the email, I was behind on my emails. So you're still suspended, Veronica. Oh. Sorry. Pocket pairs are popping up everywhere, three-handed.
To a flop. Ace 5 deuce, all diamonds.
Look at that, a wheel draw for Shane.
And no diamonds. Checked around. 9 on the turn.
7's still good. Come on, somebody put money in. A bookend of aces. Yoda's got the best hand. The check mark just means he's got the best hand. Doesn't mean he's won it yet. Shane can still do nothing to win this pot, except shove, probably.
People come up to the glass all the time and try to talk to us. Apparently, they think we can adjust the temperature while we're live.
With the lights help. Stones is notoriously cold. As cold as stone. All right, so.
Apparently, the chat is saying that I would have gotten the boot from ESPN a long time ago.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. If we could put out a video of things that didn't make air.
Oh, I'm sure it'd be glorious. Just straight
I'm
to
sure
DVD.
some editor has it somewhere. I mean, the editor we used to have in New York would save the stuff and then do a reel every year. And, I mean, you try stuff, because we're not live. We try stuff that doesn't work, and then it doesn't fly with the producer. Once we finish the show, we complete the show, then we all sit around and used to it and watch the whole show. and then make little corrections here and there. One time we had, I can't think of his name. He's a high roller. He was played the $1 Million buy-in, and he was in the video with Paris Hilton.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And so we
You
had
can
some
talk about
things to say about that.
And they said
that
no.
we had to change. Yeah. Yeah.
Risque.
Rick. That's his name. His name is Rick. I can't think of his other name. So
Big
look at this.
B-
Hey, big hands.
Big B Bruno wants to know if you're playing the main event of Stones.
I have to work, unfortunately.
He's got to do this thing called World Series of Poker. I don't know if you've
I
heard
cannot.
of it.
I wish I could. I played the last 2 days. Finished 50th out of 200 and something and 30th out of 175. So look at this. We got a
Eric
pot.
raises to 60K with Ace Queen, and he gets 2 callers.
Top pair for Shane.
Not much for anyone else. 2 diamonds on the board. Both Eric and Yoda have backdoor diamond draws.
How big do you like backdoor diamond? I'm reluctant to even mention it, but you know.
Jake's got me in the habit of
I know it's
saying
there,
it because Jake
and
is
it's
very
a thing.
optimistic.
It's a thing.
I think poker players are just generally optimistic with their hands.
With
With
backdoor, they're
their
generally
equity.
pessimistic.
They're like, well, I've got
Notoriously.
the backdoor flush draw, so
Right.
it's like I have more
It's
equity.
like the backdoor flush draw is like changes their world.
Yeah.
And when they are so dour about everything, they're all
There's
all
nothing
wolves, all wolves out there with no shoulders,
There's
shoulderless.
nothing like backing in to the nuts.
You're right.
Unexpected.
You're right. So Shane bets top pair, and Yoda I think folded. Did he? Were we a little bit? Did Yoda
Well,
get rid of it, and now it's on
The
Eric.
camera moved, so we see. And that's the thing with doing a live show. Sometimes if the cameras are not showing the action,
Eric, Yoda did fold. Yoda folded.
yeah. So
So 65 of his 512 to win 254 when he's got nada. And when you're shorthanded, you do wonder: is your ace good? Is
the
ace
thing
good?
is, even if Ace King was bluffing him, is no good. How?
And that's what he just heard you and shook his head and folded.
Yeah, yeah.
He can't hear us, but yeah, you're right.
I mean,
It's a good time.
what does he beat? Ace Jack, Ace 10.
Yeah, you're right.
So he's got to fold there. There's nothing he can do, or he could jam,
Eric's got to be careful. Eric's got to. I mean, it was a good fold. He's playing the stack. So we get 2,900 per second. So it's $1,000 difference almost between third and second. So it's a pretty good bubble here. It's $1,000 bubble right now that they're playing for, and they bought in for 150. So this is a pretty decent bubble, and they have to be careful.
And I think Yoda is one of those players that knows that and will start applying pressure. And he's got a big stack now. And there's nothing better than being the aggressive one and also catching cards. Ace Jack for Yoda here in the small blind. He's reaching for chips, putting in a raise. 60,000. Blinds right now are 10,000, 20,000, so it's 3x. Pretty standard for Yoda. And you have 3,000, so you've got 33,000 in the pot before even any action happens.
So somebody, I'm sure, just yelled out, what's happening the rest of the week at Stones?
Lon, how about you tell us what's happening the rest of the weekend?
So the main event, satellites, begin tomorrow. And you're going to have main event satellites on Tuesday, 2 of them. Wednesday, how many?
2.
2 of them. Thursday, 1. And then the main event begins Thursday also.
Thursday at 10 a.m., our main event starts as a $450 buy-in, 40-minute levels, 15,000 in chips, unlimited re-entry. That means some of you might even enter 15 times and you have to get third place to break even.
It's been happened. It's been happened.
It's been happened.
But there's also a mega satellite after the main event begins Thursday night at 6 p.m.
I love me some mega satellites. I think they're 1 in 5 too. So
They are. Some are 1 in 10. There's 2 1 in 10. The others are 1 in 5.
So it looks like the small blind has just raised to 60K. So that's a little more than 3x. Oh no, sorry, that's 3x. And Shane just calls here.
That's fine.
I don't mind it. You're three-handed.
We're all live.
6-6-10 on the flop. 2 clubs. Eric has the backdoor club drawn, so does Shane.
He loves it.
These are one of these flops where your opponent either, rips into it and is dominating you, or completely whiffs it, as everyone likes to say.
Clubbage.
Clubbage on the turn. Ace also might slow down some action. If I'm Shane, and I get checked too.
So Shane's hoping to river a straight draw.
I would have put in a bet here if I was Shane.
Clubbage. Look at that. That is brutal. I mean,
Nothing like backdooring into the nuts.
nope. And both clubs probably think they're okay. I'm sure Shane doesn't feel too comfortable, but maybe comfortable enough to call a value bet. 60,000. That's almost half the pot.
And Shane, does he feel good about his
10% of a
7
stack.
high?
10% of your stack, Shane.
But with a 7 high flush.
I know, that's
It's
the
so-
problem, but you're three-handed. They don't have a club.
See, Lon, you're very optimistic.
Look at that, he's reaching. He almost has to call it.
He almost has to call. I agree with you.
He
Yeah,
calls.
he calls.
He shouldn't have called.
Jimmy Bluffett's asking, please ask Lon why ESPN seems to be cutting coverage shorter every year. Or we were talking about this, they're just doing it differently, correct?
Yeah, the footprint is a little different. The same number of hours we've had the last couple of years, but they're making some of the blocks, or all the blocks, longer. So some shows are 90 minutes, some shows are 60 minutes. So every week you get 2.5 hours of poker instead of 2 hours, which shortens the number of weeks we are on the air. But I believe the same number of hours, we're forcing you to watch longer poker every time you sit down to watch it. So that's the
don't mind.
difference. That's the difference.
I love the main event. I mean,
Oh,
it
nothing
is
like it. Nothing like it.
nothing. There is nothing like it. I mean, every time I played at the series back in the day, before before the kid and before the hubby,
Before you had a real
I used
life.
to go and be a DGen, and I played a lot of cash games. They were just so delicious.
And it's still, I thought the best thing that the World Series folks did was to open up another entire convention room for the cash games.
Really?
And
That's
now they've got the
glorious.
daily deep stacks, which are their own world.
They are amazing. The 2 p.m. deep stacks. They're really good
three a day, I think.
value. So Eric's all in here with pocket sevens on the button.
Wow, 611,000.
Yeah, I mean it's still below average, but it's, I think, a very huge.
That's a big risk.
Yeah. So he's winning just under 50,000, and
But he's only got one stack bigger than his.
Yeah,
And so he's
and-
putting pressure on Shane there.
and I think what's going to call you a better hand only, and
Right.
and you're putting all of this
It's a
at
big risk.
I think like a
On this bubble.
2.5, yeah, a 2.5x raise would have done the same thing, or maybe if you want to make it more.
I wonder
don't
if he
know.
feels
Unless it's
uncomfortable
balanced.
post-flop with these guys.
Yeah, that's true too. It's another thing.
And that's what happened with, we saw a lot of guys, I think it happened to, was it Phil Ivey when he made the November 9, is nobody felt comfortable playing post-flop with Phil Ivey. And so they forced him to make huge decisions pre-flop and get him to fold more than.
Well, you don't have to think, really. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to
No.
play once all of your chips are in. And I think if you're going to do these kinds of shoving, if you're going to be doing it with a balanced range, as long as it's not going to be exploitable, I guess
I
it's
just
fine
think-
if you want it to be a part of your game.
I don't know what Eric's intentions are, but on this bubble, yeah, and it's Shane who
Here we
has the
go.
sevens now.
Here we go. Shane with the sevens raises to 70K, and it looks like Yoda.
Yoda called. I mean, Eric called, and Yoda didn't raise it with Queen 8.
Yoda
And now here
calls,
goes Eric.
and Shane's all in, and we love this kind of
Not yet.
action.
Not
we
Shane
love
hasn't
it.
called yet. Yeah. But he's gonna.
Sorry. Okay, so Shane, it's all in to call. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was
You were excited because you
I
want
was
him
getting
to.
too excited. Yeah.
I mean, Shane's looking at payouts. I think he's looking for the screen.
so
for the
yeah,
payouts.
it's Eric with the ace jack that went all in for 664. Still not an average stack. Still below average. Still enough to cripple these guys.
So is it a 3-bet from Shane that was called by Yoda. Or, I mean, a raise from...
So Shane's on the button, so he raises. Yoda just
Oh, there
called.
it is. Right, okay.
And then the ship from
by
Eric.
Wow, and so Shane now with the decision for his tournament life with 7s.
And again, this is a $1,000 decision.
So Shane, his biggest cash is $12K, so it's a decent cash, but he would love to. So this is a decent tournament for him. It's not like he's touring and playing circuits and World Series and WPT events and making big money. You know, his biggest cash is $12,000. He's a general contractor, so any money is good, even though he called with the 7s.
Wow, huge call. It's a flip.
All right.
Classic.
It is a
flip.
classic. And usually the flip is like 4 percentage points on either side, and then you get into a race if it's a little wider gap that we saw earlier when somebody had folded a tray with the pocket trays.
Yeah.
So this is a classic flip, absolutely.
Stone's classic flip here, ladies and gentlemen.
Classic flip alert. All right, so there is a
what?
Broadway
And it's
draw for Eric.
It's a sweat. It's always, I love a good sweat. Oh, there's the
Now
jack.
Shane needs a 7. So Eric will take that pot. Shane is gone with the 7s. Gone with the 7s. We are heads up. So Shane just, he was snake bit early on, getting it from both sides. He had Yoda hurting him, on one side, and then Eric was, the other guys were raising it, and Shane was like stuck in the middle. He was like the cream all night long in the cookie.
Yeah, I mean, what you're saying is, AKA, it's not easy.
It ain't easy.
It ain't easy, baby.
Yeah. And he was a chip leader. Shane was a chip leader coming into this final table, too. How about that?
We're down to heads up now. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised it's Yoda. And Shane. Sorry.
This is very even, isn't it? I would
Not
imagine.
Shane, Eric.
It's
Yoda and Eric.
pretty even. Even stacks. Yeah,
Yeah.
look at that.
1.1, 1.3, let's go.
So we got 22 minutes left. We're at 15 and 30 now.
With a 4,000 ante. So there's just under $50,000, 50,000 chips in the center before the hands even played.
They haven't been playing, well, they just now been playing 2 hours, I think. We went on about 2 hours ago, so they might be able to talk chop here if they wanted to.
Yeah, I think they might be talking about something right now. They're pretty even in chips. They are allowed to. They can play it out also.
So have you discussed obviously what the chop is all about and why people want to chop over the course of Stone's Live, and what the whole purpose of the chop is just to protect your equity, And,
well, yeah, I mean, with these kinds of...
Oh,
with
let's see if we can hear. Over here?
Yeah, so they're talking about chopping.
Oh,
right
chopping.
now.
I think they're chopping. We're wondering where the button goes.
Yeah, so with these games, you're pretty short stack.
Relative to the blinds.
Relative to the blinds, and right now they're even chips. Chopping might be something that... so it depends. So first is 47... Second is 29. If they can both get better than second place money, they might consider it. I think they're deciding to play. I think they're playing.
Yeah, I think they were just worried about where the button was at that point.
All that talk just about the button. Then.
Yeah, I think it was. But
Thanks, Lon.
So they weren't. No, that's why they brought Kai over. So
I'm just giving you a hard time. Because this might be my last time. I might be kicked out of Stones after this.
Yeah, you better empty the bucket. With all the good stuff and
well,
bad
you
stuff.
are on my bucket list. Got it done.
Excellent.
Comedy actor.
What does that make me now? What about now?
No,
now I'm one less important.
No, that's not true. Mm-mm. You're still on Karen.
I'm like the wolf. I'm shoulderless now. I'm a little downtrodden. All right, here we go. Heads up. Heads up is a purest form of poker. Should we bring Chachi out?
Chachi's enjoying this. Yeah, Chachi's like, hey guys, what's up? I'm the best.
Chachi's in his condo.
Here he
You
goes.
want to come here a second? Just for heads up? Come here. No, he doesn't.
so
He's camera shy now. He's demanding equal time, and he wants an agent. All right, so here we go. Now, I don't know. These guys. Well, let's see. If Eric has. He was here on the stream. He said he won 10,000 on the stream on a Sunday. That's probably not a first place. And then Jota, he won a tournament here, so he's been heads up. He won a tournament here for 48 grand. He said.
Wow.
So Yoda has been in at least heads up once, and it's a different game.
And he's a cash game assault weapon too.
Right, and so that's going to help him heads up, I think.
I think so. Eric looks like he's putting it. So the small blind is the button, and he's raising it, and you know, you're pretty much going to be raising every button heads up here, almost. So Eric puts in a raise. 60K. Yoda calls 7-8 ace on the flop. Rainbow. Yoda still with the best hand, but Eric was the initial raiser. He's probably going to c-bet here on the button. Yoda checks to him. And Eric with his lovely flower hat puts in a c-bet.
And Yoda with the awful Dodger hat now has a decision. And what's that on the bill? That's not even real. It's like...
What is that?
Folded
what
queen
is this
10?
is? Well, I mean, that ace...
I know, it's tough.
You know, he's got to say, well, maybe he has some sort of ace, maybe even a little pair beats me.
He knows you can't always be, I mean, and you can't be afraid of the ace all the time, but I know, it was a good play by Eric. A very good play by Eric. I'll give him that.
Eric had position, and he was the aggressor. It's always nice to have both of those on your side.
You are right.
Lon, you know, you should listen to me, and
I should.
Your poker game will improve.
I listen to anybody, and my poker game will improve. All right, an ace for Yoda here. Ace, suited ace.
Suited. And
small blind is the button,
here.
heads up.
And this is so standard that, you know, Yoda may not get credit for the strength of his hand here. Oh, sorry, he just called.
Yeah.
So a check, 3-4-6 on the flop, rainbow again. Check, check. 3 pairs the board. Yoda has to think he's good. I think if he gets checked 2 again here,
I feel a jack.
Ace high might.
Nope. Ace
Yoda's
high.
going to take this down with ace high.
If they don't bet heads up, this will last forever. I think that's the math, right?
Yes.
If they never bet heads up, it will last forever.
Forever.
Okay.
Eternity.
I think that's how it goes. Doesn't matter what the blinds are, right?
Eternity's not easy to grasp. I mean, it's a long time.
Eternity's a bitch.
Once the sun burns out, though, we're going to have to close down the game.
I have extra winter coats.
We're going to be engulfed by the sun when it turns into a red dwarf.
We'll be underwater.
I'm an armchair physicist here, so come on.
But it'll be so hot at that point because of the sun we don't know about yet coming into our galaxy at that point.
Yeah, before it actually implodes or explodes or whatever
We'll have
stars
a
do
replacement
before they
sun
die.
come in. It's just like
Yeah,
a job
I mean,
thing, you know.
yeah,
it's
that's
just being interviewed right now.
obviously, yeah.
By God. And bring in the sun. Bring in the
Bring
new
it
sun.
in.
Oh, Yoda's getting some high cards here, and you like that heads up. You need to take advantage of it. Eric so far has been pretty aggressive. I like that, too.
And there's a reason he made it this far, because you have to be in this game.
Yeah, and he got a 5 out of it.
No reason why he can't think he's good. The thing about betting, though, only thing that's calling you is a better hand. So I like the check back.
Oh, open-ended for Yoda now. And a gut shot for Eric.
I like the bet. You want the draw to stay in with you. Yoda's going to stay to draw into the straight. Eric's got to feel he's got the best hand right now. Board's paired. He's got 2 pairs.
No bet. Paired board, that's fine. Queen's up. Eric's going to take a little more of a lead there. He had 1.3, I think, to 1.1, so he's going to go to 1.4 to 1.0.
999.
Close enough. He's 1.3 something, 1.38 or something.
Yeah, we want longer decimal places.
We have to hire somebody else up. So I assume the next blind level will be 2040? Or would they go 2550? Sometimes they skip.
Yes.
I don't have a structure sheet in front of me.
Let's go 50-100. That would be fun, right?
Then we could skip the second act of the play. Yeah.
Go get a beer. Yoda's putting in a raise on the button. Nice hand.
I love that hand.
I do too.
Plus, he's a cash game player. That's a beautiful cash game, man.
It's like we're kindred spirits.
Oh, Kindred.
9-8 suitor.
My middle
baby.
name is Kindred.
Eric calls, not a bad hand either. Ace 3 suited. Let's go.
Bingo.
I like it, and a backdoor for Yoda if he's optimistic. He's gonna continue here.
Yeah.
Eric checks, maybe trapping him, maybe wanting to keep Yoda's bluffs in his range.
That's pretty good. 100,000, is it?
Oh, sorry. Yoda was the original raiser, so Eric checks to the original raiser.
Oh, all in?
Oh, it's all in. Wow. I can't see Eric folding here. I can't
Is that
see
true?
it.
I don't see the all-in button thrown at it.
Yeah.
I see 90,000 or 100,000.
Yeah, I agree with you. There is an all-in button all the time. Oh, Eric is all in, and Yoda.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
There's
there
the all-in button. Yeah, I didn't see it. Sorry,
That's what
fans at
happened.
home, you saw that before we did.
So yeah, sometimes the camera will move just after the action, and then we have to.
See, I did that for years, and therapy will tell you it's not the camera. We screwed up. It's on us.
No, I never take the blame, and then I sleep better at night.
We screwed that up
And
so bad.
My problem usually
It may have been
is
the worst
I'm in
Stones live stream ever called, and I apologize for
my
Veronica.
my
I'm
problem
the guest,
is I'm
and I
always
can
in
do
the
no
chat room.
wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
No, that's true. It's like I said, it's like we're married. You're not listening to me, and
It's like we're married, you're not listening to me.
touche. Again, on the button, Eric. He's also in the small blind, so let's see what he's raising it up.
Eric, I like the way Eric's been playing, and I don't think Yoda is playing his game.
Yeah, I think it's difficult when you're normally the aggressor at the table to be heads up against someone as, if not more aggressive than you. Yoda
Sharing
just
a 9,
calls.
sorry. Sharing a 9, that's always scary, heads up.
Luckily, no 9.
Straight draw for Eric.
Fat Train said, pack your bags, we're going on a guilt trip.
I'm not guilty, I just said we screwed up. I'm not guilty about
Are
it.
you Catholic?
No. No guilt in my head.
I know about those Catholic guilt trips, that's for sure.
I'm done with guilt. Eric with the bet, and more chips going to the skateboard proprietor. Skateboard man. I want to see one of his skateboards.
I used to skateboard.
I never. The only time I did, my brother had one of the original Honda 150 Dreams, which came out way before you were even thought of, and he would pull us around the block on his little motorcycle on the skateboard.
On his motor? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but this was back in the early
dangerous.
60s, and nothing could hurt us because nobody had thought
one
about
cared.
things hurting us yet. All right, we are heads up for the Six Max Championship here in the Stones $250,000 Fall Classic. This had a guarantee, didn't it, on it? I think it was a $10K guarantee.
The chat is saying, or Plastica in the chat saying you're in good form tonight.
Oh,
They're
that's
very
nice.
impressed.
What do they know of my form? What do they know of my form? I guess they can.
We all know your form,
My
Lon. Come on. We watch you every
you.
weekend
Having fun.
in our living room.
I was always jealous of you over here under the lights with Jake while I'm over there playing the cash game.
I could see the jealousy in your eyes.
I'm glad
Pressure's
to
on
hear.
Yoda. 100K to call
Look
here.
at this. Poor Yoda's
Plaques.
getting smashed.
String calling with plaques. Is that legal?
That was a mad. He probably announced it.
I'm just joking.
No, I know. But that was a noisy, mad string call with plaques.
Ace King 4 on the flop.
Broadway draw for Eric is hitting everything, but Yoda's ahead. I'm sorry, no, he's not. He's got the king, obviously.
Eric flopped a king, yeah.
But you'd like to hit the flop, but with 10-4, that's not the flop you want to hit.
Yeah, he's folding here.
And look at the spades for Eric, and it's just all bad for Yoda since his heads up started. And he's frustrated. I can tell he's frustrated.
I honestly, yeah, I can see the frustration in his fold, but I honestly think that he doesn't want to show that he's calling with weak cards, so you kind of have to do the show of, hey, I'm going to think about this because I have a decent hand.
You know what? People fold heads up too, and I just don't see the value in 10-4.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, he didn't want to show, like, oh, I'm just playing 10-4. I think he wanted to show that it was a bigger fold.
Right. But I mean, okay, so that was trying to correct an earlier mistake of calling with 10-4 or being in the hand with 10-4, you know. So.
Yeah, it's okay to fold sometimes.
Oh, Yoda's got a real hand. Eric's got pocket pair, which you really like.
This-
This could get a little ugly.
They could tango.
You think so?
Yeah.
Tango, is that what we're going to call it?
Yeah.
Tango. Do we need to
'Cause
get a couple of roses on the table for them?
Yeah, I mean, a tango can get nasty.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's got
dirty.
tango. A rose has thorns. Every rose has thorns. Is that a
Yeah.
song?
Yes. Yes.
But you're also kissed by Rose, Seal. All in. All right, the 8s are all in. Yoda. And now this would even the stacks out if he calls and loses Eric. Eric. Deuces.
It's so hard to call with deuces here.
You can raise with deuces, but you can't call an all in with deuces. Because I think about any other pair in the world beats deuces. I don't know if I'm right about it. I don't have my ranking sheet here of hands, but I think every pair beats deuces.
Ghost of M said so true. Every rose has its thorns, and teared up.
That was nice.
You
Thank
got
you.
our chat
That
room
was
all emotional. Normally these guys can't get emotional. Bo Hitch 72 says, hey, Lon and Veronica, thank you so much for the commentary tonight. It's great to see more live poker online. Much love from Omaha. Now, I don't know if he's at a table playing Omaha
Home
or
of
he's
the
actually
College
in Omaha.
World Series. Good stakes from Omaha. Move on to the next hand, Eric. Move on.
Let it
Move
go,
on.
baby. You
Move
know
on.
it's like that.
Oh, you're gonna show? Don't
Cute
show
girl you
him.
met at the bar, you know she's not good for you. You got to let her
All
go.
right, show him. That's a good show. That's a good show.
Mustache says
Oh,
it's an
and
emotional
Yoda showed him the
roller
8s.
coaster.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah. Courtesy show. I mean, I would. I'm
I wouldn't
ruthless.
have. Yeah, I would not have. I would have only shown maybe if I had 10-4. You know, Eric with a million chip advantage almost.
Life's not easy, Lon. Life's not easy.
Eric has
And then-
made this heads up look easy though.
Yeah. No, that is true.
But if we're talking Yoda, it's not easy. It's not easy.
Yoda has found a thorn in his side.
Yes.
And
And every side has a thorn.
we're just
No, it's not.
cliches on top of cliches. Yoda with a great hand here. Pocket 8s on the button, raising. Raisy daisy.
He just had 8s.
There's
King
no
deuce.
rule against having 8s 2 times in a row.
King Deuce is the, what is the phrase with heads up? King Deuce is the worst hand that still has a 51-49 advantage when you're all in. If you go all in against any
Versus
random hand,
most random
yeah,
hands.
random hand, it's the smallest, it's the worst best hand in heads up, I think.
Worst best hand.
It's like Reno.
That's an oxymoron.
Yeah, it's like Reno. It's the Reno of cards.
It's the Reno of cards. You fit right in this booth perfectly. All right. We've got Eric in the small blind and
Oh.
also on the button.
Yoda has upgraded one of his 8s.
Those 8s love him. Is he just calling here? It looked like just a call. He grabbed the lavender chips. Yoda's not going to let it go through. Putting in a raise.
Good.
Looks like 60 more.
Now Yoda's getting his stroke back here. You know, he's trying to play getting his game. He's not afraid now to put chips in the pot.
Everyone's jumping on your comment. Vocal Terror says you heard it here, folks. Worst best hand. Bear Ultra says I always have the worst best hand.
Right? Not that it can't be beat. All right, so I think Yoda's picking up a little confidence. His comportment at the table is a little better. I think Eric is fine. Eric is steady. He's got to just look at the scoreboard, baby. Look at the scoreboard. Still got an over 900,000 chip
The turtle
advantage.
and the hare. Is that the race we're watching here?
Could be. It could be. But at some point with the blinds, you got to, get your tortoise onto a something.
On a speed train.
Skateboard. The skateboard, maybe.
Yeah.
One of Eric's skateboards.
Looks like the button just called.
Draw.
And big blind just checks. To a flop, ace 5-3.
A front door and a back door, straight draw.
Yoda just reaches for chips and already gets a fold.
Huh. Too much credit on the ace. People hate to see the ace heads up.
I would claim carpal tunnel syndrome if I was a dealer heads up.
Right? I mean, I think they should have 2 dealers, especially when you're shuffling. But we can't afford 2 decks, can we?
No, it's way out of our budget. I mean, we've got you here.
Not tonight.
We can't afford
Tonight,
anything
yeah.
else for the rest of the year.
You got to start moving quickly. We're 3.5 minutes. Did he fold?
Just an insta fold. Queen 5.
Queen.
I like Queen 5. I mean, how do you fold that on the
Yeah,
button?
all right. Mix it up, And the problem for these guys, too, they have a left-handed dealer, and that is just so, it changes everything.
You're like completely changed. You should ask for a new setup.
Flop comes out the wrong way.
I mean,
the cards spin the wrong way when they're thrown at you.
They should
and
have
so
like a pagan idol
go the wrong way.
to like negative that left-handed
The
variable.
left-handed dealer should hand it off to a right-handed dealer and then throw the cards out if they got to hire the left-handed dealer. That's all I'm saying. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with left-handed people, but there is.
Vocal Terror says, I'm surprised the players aren't dealing themselves having to pay Lon.
Right?
I actually played in England and I had to deal myself in the 1 pound, 2 pound game. And in the tournament until the final table, we were dealing ourselves.
You can go to Portland and do that now.
No, thank you. Looks like a little
Look at that.
call
Yoda
out
got
of Yoda. So
frisky.
Eric 3-bet to 150. Yoda just calls with a
Okay.
deuce 3. I like
Suited.
it.
I think
Brave.
I'm going Yoda. I'm going a long shot here. There it is.
You gotta love that flop if you're Yoda.
Sure.
Eric just whiffs it completely.
Even that spade is not a spade and the club is not a club in Eric's head. He missed that so badly.
But Eric continues here.
And I like that too. And he'll probably win it. Well, I don't know. What
Well,
is that?
Yoda's
is that
open-ended, so 200,000 to call. So
That's big.
let's see. The camera's not on Yoda. We can't see the action. See, it's not always me.
No, absolutely not. I never blame you for
Well,
anything. Never blame
never.
talent. Never blame the people talking.
Never.
It's never their fault.
He calls.
All right.
He has
4 plaques.
still
Look at that.
460. Now
All
he
in
pairs.
with spade. 3. No, he's all in with the 3s.
Did he go all in?
I think so. Or the dealer. Is that Mike? Is that his name? The dealer?
And Eric went all in and Yoda called. Okay.
Oh,
wow.
my goodness.
Wow.
You called?
Well, Yoda did the call. Eric was just trying to get him off the
That.
hand. Wow, great call by Yoda. Great call by Yoda.
Yeah. I don't like the play from Eric. Eric shoved with the 7s.
Well, the thing is, when you're betting 200,000 on that flop,
I know.
what
I
is
just
Yoda
didn't like
calling
the
you
line.
with?
I didn't like the line.
Yeah, what's Yoda calling you with?
But you have to be aggressive, heads up, and I just think if somebody's calling you for 200,000, they've got a piece of that flop. and they're the short stack, and they're calling for a third of their stack or more.
Yeah, they have something, and if you don't, they've got you beat.
So a great result for Yoda now as we're heads up. And I think now they have flip-flop stacks, right? So yeah, 1.2 million to 458. And it was a good read by Yoda.
They're asking why he doesn't shove the flop. I think they're assuming why Yoda didn't shove the flop. Well, I think if Yoda shoves that flop, then he doesn't double up there. He'll just win that pot. The 200,000 that Eric just bet, and then whatever was in the middle. But this way, Yoda maximized his winning. And I think that's what Yoda's really good at, maximizing value out of his hands.
He took a chance that, Eric was going to catch a card.
But he had a lot of equity.
Yeah,
a lot of
absolutely.
Outs.
He was open-ended. He had the pair, and it was all good for Yoda. I mean, he was in the dumper. He was mentally not in the game there for a while. He was getting crushed by Eric heads up, and he made a nice play with the tray deuce. I mean, a lot of people think. I mean, heads up, that's, every hand can play.
Wow. Okay, so now we've reversed it. Now Yoda's sitting at 1.6K. And here we are. Look at us.
So that is heads up poker, right there.
Oh, they're on break.
They're taking a break?
8 minutes, yeah, and so are we. We get to watch more they get to watch more hands of the week. Lon's just staring you're just a good-looking guy, Lon. I'm just
Heads
gonna
up
say.
is the best.
Look at Lon just staring at the screen. Well, we will see you in about 8 minutes, and we will get back in the heads-up action of the Stones Classic 6 Max.
I'm going to take Chachi for a little walk.
Oh, Chachi. There's 3 commentators tonight.
Hey everybody, welcome to another Stones Live Poker Hand of the Week. We're going to take a hand from a 10-25 game with a 50, and this hand has a double straddle on it, so 10-25-50. It gets folded around here to Nat, who's been playing pretty wild, and he's going to open for 250, 2.5 times the double straddle, and JC Tran is going to defend the double straddle spot with King 8 of clubs. We can't see what Nat has right now, but we can see that JC has flopped top pair. This one goes quickly check, check. So now JC is going to take the lead here on the turn. He bets $325 here on this wet board, and Nat doesn't think about it for too long, and he's going to make the call here. So you start to think about what types of hands would raise pre-flop, check back the flop, and then call the turn. River's got to be one of the worst cards here for JC. It's the ace of diamonds, so a hand like ace-jack, ace-10, make a pair of aces. Nat might have a hand like ace-queen that could have been checked back. He's going to think about it for a little bit, and he's going to bet about $750 here into a $1,200 pot. So it gets back around to JC, and you can see the discomfort here in his seat. He's getting about 2.5 to 1, and Nat has played pretty wild. So he is eventually going to come to the conclusion that this is a profitable call. He puts the money in, and Nat turns over ace-9 for rivered aces up and wins a big, big pot. Check out Stones Live Poker on Monday and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific Time. And this weekend, the 24th through the 26th, Stones Live Poker will be streaming the final tables of the $250,000 Fall Classic. I'll be there on Saturday the 24th, announcing the Monster Stack final table. On Sunday the 25th, David Tuckman will be announcing the Classic Deep Stack final table, culminating on Monday the 26th, the 6 Max final table with Lon McEachern. It will all be at twitch.tv/Stones Live Poker. Hey everybody, welcome to another Stones Live Hand of the Week, and we're going to get into a pot here at 10:25. This game was playing with the straddle, and JC Tran right here was in the straddle. Nate raises here to 160 pre-flop. Brian calls in the big blind, and JC Tran calls in the straddle. Both the blind and the straddle flop flush draws, but it gets checked over to Nate, and he does not bet his deuce. The turn here is the king of spades, and you can see here Brian with the top pair and the nut flush draw, but JC Tran with a huge draw, queen high flush draw, and a gut shot to a jack. He just calls the turn bet here by Brian, however, does not raise on the come, rivers the four of hearts, and both players make a flush. Brian with the nut flush, ace-5 of hearts. JC Tran, he's got the queen high flush. Now, Brian's going to make kind of a small bet here at the end, about $425 into $1,100, and JC Tran is going to raise it up here. He is going to make it $1,300, and you've got to love this spot if you're Brian, staring at the nuts and a guy has raised you on the river. He's going to put a little bit of a Hollywood act for about a minute on, and then he finally moves all in. JC feels like he's pot committed, I guess, and he makes the call, and Brian wins a huge pot in this 10-25-50 game. If you want to check out live cash games, watch Stones Live Poker every Monday and Wednesday at 7:30 Pacific Time over at twitch.tv/Stones Live Poker. Welcome everybody to another Stones Live Poker Hand of the Week, and we are going to take a look at one of the deepest 1-3 no-limit games you have ever seen. Up at Stones, they do Match the Big Stack, and we have several people with over $1,000 here at the table. Kathy, who is in the straddle in this spot, is lucky enough to pick up kings, but she is just going to flat call L8-8's raise pre-flop. She does not 3-bet, and that's going to bring Frank along here behind, and they're going to see it multi-way to the flop. Wow, you flat with pocket kings, and you get top set on a board that's just not that draw heavy. L8 is going to make a continuation bet, but Kathy figures there's no reason really for her to raise. She's just going to flat call, but that's going to bring Frank behind in the pot with a gut shot wheel draw. The turn comes off a deuce, and Kathy now gets checked to by L8, and she's not going to slow play now. She's going to bet, build herself up a little bit of a pot, but she bets really tiny. She bets 90, and Frank is going to continue to come along here as well. You can see L8-8 releases his pocket tens. We move to the river, and what a crazy river it is. It's an ace. It gives Frank aces up, but it's got to be really scary here for Kathy. But give her credit, she is not scared, and she is going to make a small type of value bet here to try to get looked up here by two pair, aces up, and you can see that Frank calls her immediately, and she wins a big pot. Check out Stones Live Poker every Monday and Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Time over at twitch.tv/Stones Live Poker.
Minutes in.
No,
Yeah,
we're in
that's
now.
it. We're on now.
Here we are.
Hi.
Welcome back. So, right after the break, the guys decided to do a chop.
Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was.
And actually, nice enough for Yoda, they chopped it halfway, except we do accumulate points in our Stones Classic, and we award a player of the series. And Yoda ended up taking the points for the win.
Yeah, we had a much bigger stack at that point. Unfortunately for Eric, who you and I were talking a little bit, a bit of a misplay. And by Eric, we think, maybe not. I mean, Eric and Yoda are here. They're not tour players. You're gonna make some moves that other people won't agree with. Eric saw it at that point as the right thing for him, and it was unfortunate that. What do you get beat by? Trays?
They've been playing
Pair of trays?
Yeah, and they've been playing since 10 a.m. and it's a long day. So
they did great. All of them.
Did fantastic.
Very satisfying 6-max final table.
So both of them got 38-44 each.
That was a very nice chop.
One thing I was talking to them about while you took Chachi outside is that how lucky they are to have had you do commentary on the final table when normally it's a big event at the World Series of Poker. So
that's nice.
I'm very honored to have you here with me. It was a great show. Thank you so much for coming in and being my
ball.
guest.
I'm proud to be the ambassador here, and it's a worthy poker room to come down and play, and for me to be a part of. It's fabulous.
And we love you here. So Lon, thank you so much.
Fun.
You to all the viewers. Thank
Classic
you to Bob.
the main event's coming up. Main event. Play the main event. Satellite
Come
in.
play some satellites. Get in the main. Jake and Chris Moneymaker will be doing commentary on the main event if he doesn't make the final table.
And I have already brought oatmeal cookies to the tournament director, so when you bring cookies, make sure they're not oatmeal, raisin, pecan.
You're so sweet. From Chachi and Lon.
Come here, Chach.
Yeah.
Say goodbye.
Chach, before we say goodbye, say bye, Chach.
One more Chach. There we go.
3 commentary. This is the trifecta right here.
That's right.
Chachi, Lon, and Veronica. Have a good night.
Night,
And
folks. It was fun.
It was an honor.
Thanks, Veronica.
Thanks, Lon.
Take care. Let's go to bed.